Blazy Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game. They're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome in. You know what we always say, Thursdays are the new Friday, and we appreciate you spending this morning with us here in the Blazy Electric Studio atop Dow Diamond. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Kyle Sandel behind the glass today. We're staying alive, man. We're staying alive. Look, I don't know what the hell's going on outside. It's crazy, though. We tried playing golf in this yesterday. Can you believe that? I swear, Kyle, I swear I was hitting my irons straight. They were going straight and far. I just couldn't find the ball. There's some truth to that. Anyway, look, we got a fun show planned out, to say the least. I didn't tell Kyle what we were doing until like 15 minutes ago when he was like, hey, man, I got to make the graphics for the show. I was like, all right, fine. I'll finally tell you.
And I still really don't know.
Well, lucky for you, you're going to get an explanation here in just a moment. We'll still do our three traditions at the end of the show. We'll still hit the news. We'll still go around the league. But today's show is going to work a little bit different. Unless some breaking news happens, we are going to stick with one simple thing that is going to take us, I don't know. Maybe this takes us an hour. Maybe this takes us the entire show. I don't really know. But here's what I do know. We need our audience's help today. This is an interactive show. This is the most dead time of the year. Today. It's Thursday. I am deeming the most dead day of the year in the sports calendar. We have one singular baseball game on. We've got the Open that's on right now overseas. And I believe this baseball game today between the Mets and the Phillies is just a makeup game anyway. So it's not like we have like legitimate baseball being played.
I mean, it is legitimate baseball.
Correct. But like it wasn't supposed to be
I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, here's what I've got in store. And we need help from our audience. I put together and seeded 64 different Detroit athletes, coaches, GMs, and a few others as well. Seeded 1 through 64 in the form of a bracket. I have the bracket. It is accessible online. Hell, I'll just tell everybody how you can access it so you can follow along if you really want to. Kyle, I'll tell you what the pin is so you can edit it along with me, and we'll see if we can get a couple people in here. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through every matchup in the round of 64, in the round of 32, blah, 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 until we eventually crown one Detroit sports people's champion. This isn't necessarily who's the best. We are letting our audience decide as much as they want to. If people have takes and people want to text in and tell us why it should be one person over the other, we'll listen. You and I both have one veto, okay? You and I both have one veto for what the crowd is saying. If we don't get any text for any certain matchup, you and I will decide. But eventually, we will crown a Detroit sports people's champion throughout the course of this show. I cannot wait. I thought of this idea earlier on this week. I was looking ahead. I was like, okay, we still don't have all-star stuff Thursday. There's no World Cup or anything going on. What can we do that's fun, that's engaging, that gets the people involved with the show a little bit? And here's what I came up with. A Detroit sports bracket for coaches, GMs. I'm very, excited to tell you what the seeds are, how this thing's going to play out. Kyle, I just sent you the link to the website so you can follow along. Printyourbrackets.com if anybody else wants to join. All you have to do is type in 2026 Detroit sports athletes, and you should see one of the one of the options, and the top one is ours. I'm excited, man. You ready?
Let's do it. 64-person bracket.
Just like March Madness, man.
Well, I feel like you should probably lay things out a little bit here. Like, this is just Detroit, right? Not college.
This is just Detroit. There's no Michigan. There's no Michigan State guys in here.
And what are we necessarily, like, what is the criteria to advancing? Are we just picking based off of, like, they're good at their sport, they're a fan favorite, everything involved? Like,
Everything.
what is all of this for?
This is the people's champion, you know? This can be interpreted any different way. It's similar to
some of the guys on here.
Oh, you're finally looking at it.
What are we?
What are you laughing at right now?
Like, why is Cameron Flukie on here?
What do you mean? Tigers' first draft pick from this year.
Yeah, but like no one knows anything about him.
So he'll probably lose in the first round.
Exactly. Like you're setting him up for failure.
Who's this first round matchup?
Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Jahmyr Gibbs is the 4th overall seed. He's probably going to win.
This is split up to not for 1 seeds, right? It's just there's a 1 seed and then there's a 2 seed, like there's a 64 seed.
Correct. The
Yeah.
64 seed. Well, I made this on Tuesday.
Good call from Jimmy. I'll drop this in the YouTube chat.
Huh.
This link.
Oh, perfect. I made this on Monday, so Steve Yzerman actually did end up making the list as a 64 seed. Give myself a pat on the back
Smart.
for that one, since he, is no longer the GM of the Detroit Red Wings. Probably smart that he was 64. Is there another person on this list that's closer to being fired than Steve Yzerman was? Probably not. So Steve Yzerman ends up as that 64 seed. I believe he is going to lose in the first round to the people, since he's no longer employed. So we've got our YouTube chat. We've got the MIT messages as well, 989-837-6125. We'll go through each matchup, and whoever has something to say, go ahead, feel free to text it in or leave it in the YouTube. We're not going to be peeking at the Facebook chat as much, so I would advise you to go to the YouTube or go to, just your phone and text in. And if you want someone to advance, let us know and tell us why, and we will listen. This is not just me. This is not just Kyle. This is everybody. All of our listeners, you and I included. I'm very excited to crown a people's champion, a MIT champion, if you will. So without further ado, you want to start at the 1 seed, or do you want to start at, well, the very bottom matchup would be a 22 versus 43 seed? Or should I just rip through everyone announced first? I feel like that would take a little bit too long, and we can just figure it out as we go.
Sure, yeah, probably just start at the top.
Okay. The very first matchup, the number 1 overall seed, Penei Sewell, versus the number 64 seed, Steve Yzerman. Now, I'm willing to take text on this one, but I would be hard-pressed to find anybody who's willing to make the case for the guy who's no longer employed as the GM of the Red Wings. Obviously, that happened yesterday. I made this bracket on Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember. And, of course, my guy, Penei Sewell, is the number 1 overall seed in this, the future Hall of Famer, the 3-time first pro all tackle. That's the number 1 seed, and that's the guy who's getting my vote on this one. Any pushback there?
Of course not.
Okay. Now, unless I'm going to wait just a moment to make sure nobody's going to text in and say that they think Steve Yzerman should be that man. And there you go. Nobody. So, Penei Sewell is moving on. How do I click him to go for it? There we go. All right. The second matchup we have, the number 32 seed, Spencer Torkelson, versus the number 33 seed, Keider Montero. It's a tough one already. You got Torkelson. He's put together a lot of home runs over the past couple of years. He's built up some longevity, but there's also some built-up frustration with Spencer Torkelson. Going up against, and by the way, Torkelson still second on the team in home runs. Going up against Keider Montero, who really struggled to solidify himself as a mainstay of this Tigers lineup, let alone rotation, and still has yet to do that. Now coming out of a pen, he's just this wild card factor who can help out this Tigers team in a lot of different ways. This one's tough, and there's a reason it's the 32 seed versus the 33 seed. I lean Keider Montero because I think he's going to be here a little bit longer, and Spencer Torkelson's leash at this point in his career seems to be pretty short.
Yeah, the fact that Spencer Torkelson is ranked higher than Keider Montero as a seed here, like that, I think that's going to be a fun part of this all day too, is getting into the controversial seeding of all of this. Keider Montero is the obvious choice. You said this is a tough one already. No, this is not. This is like one of those 8 versus 9 matchups in March Madness where like the 8 seed is a minus 8.5 in the game. It's Keider Montero all day.
Keider Montero it is. And by the way, let me know if people are disagreeing with anything in the YouTube.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this link in here.
It's not just a simple copy-paste?
It's not working, man.
All right. The next one. We'll figure it out in the next break. How about this? We'll do one more. We'll take a break, come back, and slam out a ton in the second segment. The third matchup we have is Sam Laporta, the 16 seed, versus J.B. Bickerstaff, the 49th seed. The runner-up for Coach of the Year. Now he's on the United States men's team as an assistant coach. Yet you and I, and anyone else who watches this Pistons team intensely knows, between the timeouts, the challenges, there's a lot of stuff that's just, he's not one of the truly, truly elite coaches in the NBA, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And Sam Laporta, I think, has solidified himself as a top 5, top 6 tight end in the NFL at worst. I think the easy answer here is Sam Laporta. With not a ton of disrespect, I'm trying to send towards J.B. Bickerstaff on this one.
Man, JB ranked pretty lowly here. 49th seed?
49th seed.
Like he was just a finalist for Coach of the Year.
Do you think he should be higher?
Yeah, I of course think he should be higher. Like, what are some of the other coaches' seedings?
Well, Dan Campbell is 17.
Sure. Like, A.J. Hinch is 37. You want that guy fired.
A.J. Hinch is 37. I still think A.J. Hinch is a better overall guy. Coach
Todd
for
McClellan
the most part.
is 50? Like, he's one spot worse than Bickerstaff?
Hey, man, Bickerstaff had some bad moments in the playoffs. Some really bad moments in the playoffs over the last 2 years, not just the last season.
I mean, he's a runner-up for Coach of the Year, man. It's just kind of crazy to me. It's obviously still Laporta, yeah. But I think JB got done dirty here by the committee.
The committee names Ben.
Yeah.
And only Ben. 989-837-6125. When we come back, we'll rip off a ton here in this second segment and just, bam, continue to get through this Detroit sports athlete, but also coaches and GMs tournament that we're doing today. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Myth. The show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The experts who do the job right the first time, whether you got a leaky roof or storm damage, siding looking a little tired. Bresky has you covered, locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, keeping your home looking sharp and safe. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come. The 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. We talk about the game plan all the time on this show, the execution of it. That's how Iron Stack approaches IT. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next, so you can focus on your mission instead of your technology. That's Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on one. on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, this is going to have to be a speed round, Kyle. We got to fly through this. The number 17 versus the number 48 matchup. Dan Campbell versus Jack Fox. Man, I love Jack Fox. We still haven't had an upset yet, but he's kind of, set up to fail here. Dan Campbell's not going to lose to Jack Fox.
Yeah, I don't really know many people that Jack Fox would have upset, honestly. Cool guy. Sorry, Jack Fox, though.
Here's a fun one. And this was totally unintentional the way that this worked out. I have Kevin McGonigal as the 8 seed going up against Max Clark as the 57 seed.
Ooh.
Not
A couple of good buddies.
I would say less than a year ago, this is a 50-50 debate on who it should actually be.
Maybe
advancing.
a little bit more than a year ago. And obviously at one point more than a year ago, it was for sure Max Clark. So it shifted at some point in that time a year ago. Wait, so how did you make this if you say that you didn't intend it to be this way? You just ranked them 1 through 64?
All I did, was put them in 1 through 64. I didn't know how the bracket was actually going to pull out.
Hey, McGonigal versus Max Clark. That's fun. Obviously, the answer is Kevin McGonigal, but that's a fun one.
No upsets yet.
McGonigal, the 8 seed. I was wondering how high of a seed he would be.
I think 8 was fair. He was the second highest Tiger. This is another good one. Maybe a potential upset, but I don't think so. Number 25 seed Troy Melton versus the number 40 seed Isaac Tesla.
Ooh. Okay, Ben. So this is where we get into a territory of we're not just picking what player is better, because Isaac Tesla is a bigger talking point
100%.
in Detroit sports.
He's from Michigan.
He's from Michigan, which adds that in. And he just plays for the Lions, and there was a lot of controversy with his pick, and people like him. He's really fun when he does play.
He makes the highlight catches.
I mean, I lean Troy Melton here because you and I are big Troy Melton guys. But Tesla, man, we're talking about Detroit sports figures. He is a much bigger figure than the player he is on the field.
Yeah, and Melton is less of a figure than he is the player on the field.
100%.
There's a real. I mean, he's the first pitcher to start after the All-Star break, and I know Scooble's obviously still the guy.
Yeah,
and he's starting on Saturday. But I think it's sooner rather than later that Troy Melton's going to be the ace of this team. This one's really tough.
I still have to go Troy Melton, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's got to be Troy Melton.
Shout out to Troy Melton, though. We do have the link in the YouTube chat, by the way, if anyone wants to click it and join and just see what the bracket looks like.
Number 9, Riley Green versus number 56, John Collins.
New addition.
New addition, John Collins.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have a guy who's new, fresh off the boat, advance over Riley Green, the 3-time All-Star, right? I think Riley Green's got a good chance to go deep in this tournament.
Let's go Riley Green.
Yeah, Gary agrees with the Melton pick, so looks like we made the right choice there.
Lucas Raymond versus Tate Ratledge. Tate Ratledge had an incredible rookie season playing guard for the Lions. Lucas Raymond, one of the best young scorers that we have in the NHL.
Did you see Tate Ratledge shaved his head as well? He's buzz cut now.
Yeah, I was happy when I saw that.
He had the real long, country boy style hair for a while.
He had the mullet cut.
Yeah, the mullet cut, yeah. Pretty nasty cut. Looks good with the buzz. Maybe the buzz cut allows him the dub here. I will say, I don't know how fair the Red Wings are going to do in this bracket.
Probably not very. So
it would feel wrong for Lucas Raymond to lose in round 1, especially as the higher seed here, to the starting right guard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's still got to be Raymond here.
Still no upsets.
That's fine.
And I don't think we're going to have an upset here. The 4 seed Jahmyr Gibbs versus the 61 seed Cameron Flukie.
I just wonder why Cameron Flukie's in here. The fact that you even thought to put him in here is so funny.
It's the first round draft pick of the Detroit Tigers,
it's
man.
Just so funny. In what world would he ever win any matchup? Obviously,
61
Gibbs.
seed.
And Gibbs, I'm not gonna lie, I think Gibbs is my early favorite to win the whole thing.
Oh man,
I think he is. I think he's the most beloved Detroit athlete right now.
He's done no
just
wrong.
Just beloved.
There's been no frustration.
Everybody loves Gibbs, man.
Well, there's one thing I can think of that I didn't love that he did.
What, against the 49ers?
Yeah, when he fumbled the first play out
right.
of halftime. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, give me Gibbs.
Potential upset. The number 29 seed, Cade Mays. versus the number 36 seed, Scott Harris.
Ooh. Scott Harris getting the 36 seed right near the middle.
If we're going to bash Scott Harris for all the bad stuff, we got to give him props for all the good stuff. And Cade Mays, he's basically neutral slate right now. So this essentially comes down to, are you a Scott Harris guy or not? Because if you are, Cade Mays should be advancing. If you are not, Scott Harris should be advancing, or vice versa.
Yeah. Gary, looking forward to the Gibbs-Sewell matchup in the semifinals. I think Scott Harris advances. I think this is our first upset here. Cade Mays is new as well. The 29 seed, you got him higher than Scott Harris. But once again, this isn't all just about like the most liked. It's not just about like how good they are at their sport or their job, I guess, in this case for Scott Harris. It's just about being a figure of Detroit, essentially, as well. Scott Harris, man, he fits a lot of those boxes. He's hated, but he is kind of liked by some, not really.
He's polarizing.
He's extremely polarizing, but most of the part is negative. I think Scott Harris advances here. I think he 100% does.
There he goes. Our first upset, the 36 seed Scott Harris versus Cade Mays. I'm starting to feel bad about Isaac Tesla not advancing. That would have been a great round of 32 edition, but there was only room for one between him and Troy Melton. Jamison Williams, the 13 seed versus Danis Jenkins, the number 52.
Wow, J-Mo draws a high seed here, man.
J-Mo's beloved.
This is like a team that lost like 7 or 8 games in the regular season that ends up being a 2 seed, and you're like, whoa, what are they doing as a 2 seed?
Mm-hmm. J-Mo's a beloved figure, man.
I mean, but he also is. There was a time where he was pretty polarizing.
Look at the journey he's been on.
For sure. Danis Jenkins, if he had a great playoffs, there's a case to be made for the argument, for the upset here. Just because of like his story too, two-way guy, undersized guard. The Pistons need another guard. It was him.
He was pretty bad in the playoffs.
It's
though.
for sure J-Mo. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of Lions on this list that advance deep.
Casey Mize, the 20 seed, versus Derek Moore, the 45 seed, the second-round rookie out of Michigan.
Like Derek Moore draws a 45 seed?
I mean, that's pretty low.
J.B. Bickerstaff is a 49, and Derek Moore gets the higher seed?
The players got the benefit of the doubt more often than not.
This guy's never played. He is a Michigan guy, though, so I guess that's fair.
Going Casey Mize.
Yeah, Mize. Oh, this is a good one.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, the 5 seed overall.
This is a bad draw for his opponent.
Number 60 seed. The 10-time All-Star, Justin Verlander, who has pitched 3 2/3 innings this year, and that is it. I don't really think this is particularly close.
It's not, but like, this is a really bad draw for Verlander. Just because, yeah, sure, he's pitched 3 2/3 innings this year. He's Justin Verlander. You know, the legacy has to come into play. It has to.
I've got a take. And I think it's mostly my grandma's take.
Oh, God.
The Verlander thing has just become a distraction. I could have done without it this year entirely.
Relax.
I did not need to have Justin Verlander on this Detroit Tigers team. And I know my reaction when it actually went down and they signed Justin Verlander. But looking back, I would go reverse. Like if I had a time machine and I could just use it at will, one of the things I would do with my time machine is go tell Scott Harris, just don't even ever sign Justin Verlander. It's just not worth it. You're going to get constant updates. People are going to be asking about it. And it's just going to become a distraction.
Has it hurt the season, though?
I don't think it's hurt the season, but it's taking attention away from guys like Troy Melton and Kiter Montero.
I mean, he hasn't pitched, so it's hard to take attention away from those guys if Verlander's not pitching.
But think about how much we have talked about Verlander and other people have talked about Verlander when he's not pitching, and it just pulls it naturally is going to pull conversations away from guys like Troy Melton.
I just will say, yes, the answer here is St. Brown. This is the worst seeding of the bracket yet. Verlander being the 60 seed, he's Justin Verlander, man.
He's pitched 3 2/3.
But like Ben, he's Justin Verlander. He deserves a higher seed than Danis Jenkins, bro.
Hey, Danis Jenkins has done a hell of a lot more for this city than Justin Verlander has in the past
Collins
year.
John Collins is a higher seed than Justin Verlander? The best pitcher you and I have watched in our lives? Like, what are we talking about, man?
Tarek Skubal.
I'll have some opinions on that guy once we get to him.
The next matchup, another potential upset. Ali McNeil versus A.J. Hinch. Ali McNeil is the 28 seed. A.J. Hinch is the 37 seed. If this was last year, this wouldn't even be close. A.J. Hinch would get the upset.
He also just wouldn't be the 37 seed.
Correct. A.J. Hinch has had a pretty disastrous season, I would say. Ali McNeil is coming off a pretty disastrous season. I don't really have all that much reason to believe Ali McNeil is going to be the version of himself that he was last year, though. I think it's way more likely he bounces back and is some version of the 2024 version of himself where he was damn near an all-pro or a Pro Bowler player by the time he got hurt.
I would pick Ali McNeil here until the Tigers traded away Jahmai Jones. So now that he's gone and A.J. Hinch doesn't have the opportunity to utilize him, give me A.J. Hinch.
Okay.
Give me A.J. Hinch.
After an awful season, Ali McNeil gets left in the first round. A.J. Hinch advances.
Gary agrees, too. He likes the A.J. pick.
Let's fly through. Actually, you know what? Let's take another break.
Okay.
We will get...
Once we get into, like, the second round and stuff, it'll go a lot quicker, I feel like.
I feel like we need to take more time during the second round.
That's a great point.
Who we're going through. So we're halfway through round one, a little bit more than halfway through round one. It's the Detroit Sports Bracket. We're looking for help. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We talk about having the home field advantage all the time. Well, if your home or business uses propane, the company with that advantage is Forward Energy. Since 1925, they've been serving our local community with propane and fuel solutions for homes, businesses, local people, reliable service. That's Forward Energy, part of the home team.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
By the end of the show, we're going to crown a champion. The 2026 Detroit Sports champion. However, we got to pace ourselves, so without further ado, Kyle Sand will take it away with a trip around the league.
With the news.
Yeah, with the news.
The Mits Morning Catch.
With the news. My bad.
Yep.
My bad.
Not around the league. It's okay. I know you're thinking about football.
We'll get to around the league in the 10 o'clock.
You're a football guy. I get it. Okay, let's talk about the news. And the big news that's going on right now in the east side of the state, the west side of the state, everywhere in the state of Michigan. The community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Here's what I got for you today, Ben. It's pretty simple. Don't go outside today.
Yeah. That's the community event?
That's what's going on. Nothing's going on. Don't go to anything today. It's terrible outside, man. It's like a 350 air quality. Up north, it's like a 500. On the west side of the state, it's like a 500.
It didn't stop us from golfing.
It
wasn't as bad yesterday, to be fair.
It probably should have stopped us from golfing, but we still did. Yeah, but it's like twice as worse this morning. So
this smell, I don't remember the smell being this bad the last few, because this has happened the last few years, but I don't remember it being as hazy and as smelly.
The smell is the part. It just legit smells like I'm sitting at a campfire. I did not remember that from the last couple years. I'm with you.
Yesterday, on my way to the golf course, I stepped outside and was standing in my driveway, and I stared directly at the sun, and I just was in awe because I was like, this is the first time in my life I can stare directly at the sun and it not have any sort of impact. It was just like a glowing ball in the sky.
Yeah.
That was covered up by so much smoke that you could look right at it.
I would assume golf leagues like today are going to be canceled.
I would hope so. They say 190 is where it's unsafe. It's
like twice
300.
That. Yeah. So be careful anytime you go outside today, and maybe just don't at all. Okay, let's get into some actual news. Yesterday, Argentina stuns England with a late rally to reach the World Cup final. They did it again, Ben. They were down 1-0 the entirety of this match, and then in the 85th minute, they score, and then they score again just shortly after. It's ridiculous, man, what this Argentina group can do.
It's blood magic. It's witchcraft. I don't really know what it is, but this team has had their back against the wall in the round of 64, the round of 32, the round of 16, the Elite Eight equivalent, and here in the semifinals as well. Every single game it's been, oh my God, I can't believe Argentina's about to lose. And then they find a way to win. The sorcery. They must be sacrificing people in the halftime locker room.
And they might go back to back. Yeah, it seemed like England was going to win this one. Choke job from the British, which I guess that's kind of fun to root for. Nonetheless, Spain, Argentina, World Cup final Sunday at 3 o'clock. Spain are your favorites at minus 150. Argentina plus 130, and they've got the devil's magic on their side. I mean,
give me Argentina, man.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Unless it finally runs it, because remember, this is what happened to the Chiefs the year that they had their devil magic. They got all the way to the Super Bowl.
And then they got destroyed
by Philly.
And that is what Argentina is. They are the Chiefs that year. The 2024 Chiefs, I think that was.
Yeah, they've got the best player. They've got the voodoo magic working in their favor.
Their team really isn't that good. They were just winning all these games really weird. Yeah.
Now they're going up against a juggernaut.
In the third place game, France versus England, that's Saturday.
Is this the dumbest
5
thing
o'clock.
ever?
Ooh, a take.
A third place game in the World Cup. Come on, you guys all lost. We don't need to give out a bronze medal.
Third place is important.
I mean, no, it's not.
In when you look up the history of the World Cup, the third place team is on there. It shows you what team was first with the runner-up and the third place team.
It should just be whoever got eliminated in the semifinals that had more goals scored or a better goal differential. It shouldn't be. They shouldn't play do you know how? Think about this. You remember when Mbappe threw every single one of his teammates and coaches under the bus? Now they got to go play another game with him mere days later. This game is meaningless now.
Should they
win.
Stop playing the bronze medal game in the Olympics?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
It does
Let me
matter,
rephrase
man.
that. It doesn't matter for the United States. The same way that a bronze
Bro,
medal
if the
for
United
France,
States was playing in this game right here, like they had a chance to be third or fourth, you know how big of a deal that'd be?
I'm saying a bronze medal in the Olympics wouldn't matter to the United States the same way that France winning
You're
a
talking
bronze
basketball
medal.
in the Olympics, yes.
France winning a bronze medal means absolutely nothing. England winning a bronze medal doesn't really mean anything. Those countries had expectations to win the entire thing.
I guess England beating France would be pretty huge, though. Like, they're major underdogs in this one, so. That's an interesting take, though. More news. Chris Haynes yesterday, talking with Isaiah Thomas on NBA TV, said that, talking about Jalen Duren and his contract situation, because we still have no update on that. He says, quote, if he takes the qualifying offer, that means he must really want out. He is fed up. He doesn't want to be there. Even if that's the case, I would say do not do that. So Chris Haynes is not expecting Jalen Duren to take the qualifying offer. We have not had an update on Duren in over a week now. I'm getting sick of it. I need something. I need LeBron to sign somewhere, or I need Jalen Duren contract, because this stuff is just getting played out too long.
You know, the LeBron stuff was just a total lie that on Monday we were 48 hours away from a decision on LeBron.
Well, then yesterday I got all confused because Halliburton tweeted out, tomorrow it's go time at King James. And I was like, wait a second.
He said that?
Yes, but then it got retweeted by his podcast, the Mind the Game. So I'm guessing Tyrese Halliburton's just going on the podcast. But like,
he knew what
come
he
on,
was doing
exactly, dude. He knew what he was doing. We'll do one more thing here in the news, and then we will save the rest for later and get back into this Detroit sports bracket. The Tigers, you mentioned it, they're switching up their rotation post All-Star break. They're back in action tomorrow out west with the Anaheim Angels. Troy Melton is going to get the lead off post break, and then Tarek Skubal, who just pitched on Sunday, will be pitching Saturday. Casey Mize on Sunday. The rest to be named, but obviously it's just Jack Flaherty and Framber Valdez, whether it's going to be 4 or 5, whichever order. But Melton, Skubal, Mize, the new three-headed monster of the Tigers for now.
For now, yeah. Tough way to come back into the second half with some 9:40 starts.
And they go to Chicago, too, and play the Cubs. So,
but at least those are 8 o'clock start.
Yeah.
Like, Saturday's game doesn't start till 10 o'clock p.m.
At least it's on the weekend, though.
Yeah. How did they start the first and second half this way? Just on the road, way out west.
Messed up. At least we have Troy Melton this time, though.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mid. Dow proudly rooted in Midland and making an impact all around the world. Innovation that creates cleaner solutions for water, safer homes, more sustainable futures. Company built on science but driven by people with thousands of employees who call this community home. Supporting local schools, events, nonprofits, because being a good neighbor matters. From the lab to the Little League field, Dow is invested in the places we live, work, and play. Dow, solving with science and standing with community.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
All right, welcome back. 9:40 here. It's 9:40 here. 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 9 coming without no money, girl. Come on.
Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, let's keep going with the bracket. We'll try to close out the first round here to end the 9 o'clock hour. The next matchup we have is Dylan Larkin, oh boy, who's on the trade block as the 12 seed, versus Hooper as the 53 seed, the best mascot, the highest ranked mascot that I had down.
Okay. Is he the only? So there's more than one mascot on here.
I have all three mascots.
Oh, really?
Rory's the last one. Not a big Rory
And Hooper's
guy.
the best one.
Yeah, Pause in the middle. Hooper gets the
You're not
crowd
a big
going.
Rory guy, huh? Yeah,
No.
Pause is pretty good. Pause low-key is like pretty good.
Yeah, he just follows
Kinda
people around all
lingers,
game. Yeah,
yeah.
he does linger.
Yeah, which
He's on
like
the prowl.
which is nice. Hooper's the coolest one, but Pause is like the most active.
Hooper comes out on like hoverboards and stuff.
Yeah, Hooper's cool. Here's my take about
Pause is
Larkin.
like, I don't know. He just kind of lingers around.
Yeah, he just kind of is around.
He's a cat.
Yeah. None of them beat Louis Loon. Dylan Larkin is just he's the most on his way out athlete / GM / coach of all of them, right? We consider to say, Scooble's going to get traded. Jalen Durham, we don't know. AJ Hinch, all these guys. Steve Eiserman, I guess, technically is the most because he literally is. But, Larkin wants to be gone. I don't want that guy to advance any further in this tournament. He wants to be traded, and we're going to trade him. He can get upset by Rory or by Hooper. I don't care.
There's just no way we're doing Hooper over Dylan Larkin, though.
Who's cooler? That's my first question. Who's cooler, Dylan Larkin or Hooper? Who's cooler? You know the answer.
Probably Hooper.
Okay, who's got more aura?
Depends. Is Dylan Larkin wearing his gold medal?
No.
Then Hooper.
Who likes Detroit more currently?
I would say nobody has ever liked Detroit more than Hooper.
Right? Who am I most excited to see on my TV right now?
that I don't know. That I can't answer
Hooper.
for you.
I'd rather watch Hooper.
Okay.
Now, but what do you think, though?
I think Dylan Larkin should not be advancing to the Sweet 16. I don't know if I can have Hooper ahead of him, but then again, Hooper's loyal.
Exactly. And if we're
Hooper
already
knows.
it's just like when you fill out a March Madness bracket. If you already are going to have a team be eliminated in the round of 32, like you just are writing it in your head, you might as well have them get upset in round 1 and see what happens.
And Dylan Larkin's a 12 seed, so it's kind of like the 12-5 type of thing.
Right. It's just the 12:53.
All right, give us Hooper. I'm hitting
Yeah,
save on
Pizza
it.
Man says Hooper always horsing around. Yeah, that's good.
Here's one. Gleyber Torres, the 21 seed, versus Derek Barnes, the 44 seed. Derek Barnes, really rough year last year. Gleyber, been hurt. But the Tigers do have a above 500 record when Gleyber Torres does play. My vote would go towards Gleyber Torres.
Yeah. Glaber for sure.
Cade Cunningham, the number 2 overall seed in the entire tournament, versus Rory.
Another mascot here.
Rory doesn't do a whole lot, man.
Yeah, Rory's like
He just kind of is on the field, just like bouncing up and down. That's really all he does.
I wish he was more like the Colts mascot.
Goofy.
The Colts mascot is just like always messing around,
Be humping
like a
people.
true mascot should. A mascot should be the all-time mess around person. So yeah, this is an obvious Cade. This could be Cade versus literally anyone, and I don't know if I would pick at least first round matchup. So yeah, Cade.
Colt Keith or Kenley Jansen?
Gary in the YouTube chat earlier said Kenley Jansen's ranked 34th. This is the 31 versus 34 seed. Now, Colt Keith has become a little controversial.
Yeah, because you're always left desiring a little bit more.
And you paid him, but he's not really. Is he really a part of the core?
He's like half in, half out.
Yeah.
He'd like to be in, but
He's
they're
in
not
the
really
waiting
giving him
room.
opportunities.
He's like when a new job becomes available and he's clear like the number one candidate, but they're like, we're going to at least like interview other sources first.
Yeah, we don't think you're not blowing us away.
Right.
But you're all we have for right now.
I still think it's Colt. I mean, Kenley Jansen. We're not picking Kenley Jansen.
Colt Keith it is.
At least we have a bobblehead of him.
Asar Thompson or Todd McClellan? First team all defense versus a mediocre NHL coach. I'll go with Asar Thompson.
We got to remember, though, Todd McClellan at the Middies was Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year, yeah. Give me Asar Thompson.
Yep.
Mo Sider or Jake Bates, baby.
Ooh.
18 Mo Sider versus 47 Jake Bates. Kyle, Jake Bates has been 100% success rate clutch in clutch situations. He's never missed a game-winning field goal. He's never missed a game-tying field goal. His fourth quarter success rate is outstanding. Now, overall, he's just like a middle-of-the-road kicker. But, man, when the game's on the line, he has never once failed to come through. And what have I always said about Mo Sider? Or not specifically Mo Sider, but the Red Wings have lacked a tough guy, like, don't mess with us mentality. Ideally, that person is Mo Sider, the big, giant defenseman.
Yeah.
And he's never really embraced that role as an enforcer guy who is going to put a little bit of fear in the heart of his opponents. With that being said, he's one of the best defensemen we have in hockey.
Here's what I'll say. And I'm not like trying to sway you either way, but just think about this. Name me a memorable Mo Sider moment. Throw me one. Give me one.
Was it Mo Sider 2 years ago that jumped up, grabbed the puck, threw it down, and then somebody else scored a goal to keep their playoff hopes alive?
I can't remember.
I can remember a bunch of Jake Bates moments.
That's where I'm going next. Name me a Jake Bates one, okay? When we were going to try to be 5-0 against Minnesota, and he kicked the game-winning field goal. It was in his first year. Boom, I remember that. Houston Texans, extreme comeback. He hits the deep 50-yarder to keep it alive, where it just hung on barely on the side of the field goal post.
Then he hit another one to win the game.
Exactly.
In the same game.
I got plenty of Jake Bates moments.
Give me Jake Bates, baby.
Give me Jake Bates. Upset. Sorry, Mo Sider. Sorry.
Jared Goff or pause? Jared Goff, the 7th seed.
Goff kind of low. I figured it'd be a little higher. I mean, 7's pretty high, but
That's pretty high.
it's pretty high. 7th overall. Yeah.
I filled out the entire thing and then realized I forgot Jared Goff, so I had to go back and readjust everything, and I had to put him 7.
Yeah, Goff.
Jackson Jobe is the 26th seed, or Zach McKinstry is the 39.
Man, McKinstry is high. 39 seed for McKinstry?
I mean, he's over halfway down. It's not that high.
I think he's pretty high, man.
I think Jackson Jobe is pretty high for not pitching at all this season.
Yeah, he is. This is one of those matchups that I kind of wish they were facing a higher seed. Like, does either of these guys deserve to make it to the second round?
I would go Jackson Jobe.
You ever have a gross first-round matchup you just don't want to pick either person? Yeah, I pick Jobe, too.
Jack Campbell or Duncan Robinson? Jack Campbell comes in as the 10 seed.
For sure, Jack Campbell. Duncan Robinson has the Michigan thing. Cool. Jack Campbell.
23 seed Kerry Carpenter versus 42 seed Blake Miller, the first round pick.
Ooh, wait a second, Ben. I like me some Kerry Carpenter, but Blake Miller,
he's supposed to save this.
He's supposed to save the O-line, man. And he's the first round pick of the Lions this year. Big talking point.
Kerry Carpenter's been fine this year. He's
still just a platoon bat at the end of the day, though.
But he's also been the best playoff performer the Tigers have had the last 2 seasons.
That's a good point.
That's got to matter.
That's a good point.
I would go Kerry Carpenter.
Okay, you convinced me.
He's not only been good in the playoffs, he's been exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Man, this one's tough. The number 62 seed Tom Kennedy going up against Tarek Skubal.
The 3 seed. Tom Kennedy, man,
he
is a fan favorite, too. Like, everybody loves Tom Kennedy. It's obviously Skubal.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I don't know how far Skubal's going to go in this bracket, though. I'm not going to lie.
Well, in the round of 32, he'll run into the winner of Jack Flaherty, the 30 seed, versus Brad Holmes, the 35 seed.
Brad Holmes. Flaherty's out the door, too. And, like, yeah, he's put together a good month and a half stretch of pitching. Everybody hated the guy for all of this season. Right?
He was, like, good for a month, and people still were like, ah.
Yeah.
Jack
I think
Flaherty.
people still feel that way about him, you know? Like,
it's like one of those guys that's just impossible to gain 100% trust in.
So another upset here. Brad Holmes over Jack Flaherty.
The second half of this bracket, man. All right. Dylan Dingler or Ron Holland?
Probably the last one here.
Dylan Dingler.
100%. Dylan
All-star.
Dingler, a big-time fan favorite right now.
Okay, we have 3 more. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more matchups in the first round, and then we'll move on to the second round to start out the 10 o'clock hour. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. As always, brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Kyle Sandel behind the glass today. Ben Bosscher here with you as always. We're making sure we crown a champion by the end of today's show since, there's no other sports on. We're doing a bracket. Detroit Sports figures who is the champion. Find out later.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.
100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, last three picks of the first round, the last three matchups we have. The first one is Brian Branch, the 19 seed, versus Brock Wright, the 46 seed. Man, I love me some Brock Wright. He's done a lot of great things, but he's not beating Brian Branch. Sorry.
I'll never forget the New York Jets touchdown, man.
Yep. You believe that was 4 years ago?
That was so long ago. Dan Miller's call is one of my favorites of his entire career.
4 years ago.
So good. Shout out to Brian Branch, though. Brain Branch, as it says here.
Oh, Brain Branch. Yep, that's a good typo right there. Number 6, Aiden Hutchinson versus number 59, Bryce Rayner. Now, shout out Bryce Rayner because he's not going to win this matchup, but Bryce Rayner's putting on a show down in West Michigan, and I'm excited to see him this weekend here at Dow Diamond.
For sure.
So if you are up here in the Great Lakes Bay region and, the air quality permits us of playing baseball,
Please
come on out to Dow Diamond to check out Bryce Rayner. It's going to be Hutchinson moving on, though. This is an interesting one, though. This next one. Kirby Joseph or Matt Vierling?
And why is this an interesting one?
Because Kirby Joseph might never
Matt
play football
Vierling?
again. At least we know who Matt Vierling is and what he brings to the table. Kirby Joseph might never play football again.
Yeah, but I think that kind of helps his case a little bit. Like, now he's become a little bit more polarizing.
Now his legacy's protected.
Like, I could care less about Matt Vierling, you know?
And now, you're saying because Kirby Joseph, there's uncertainty.
Yeah, it almost creates even more.
beloved.
It creates even more like talking points about him.
Okay, I'll go with Kirby Joseph.
Yeah, for sure, Kirby.
So here's where I'm seeing an issue for the first time. Dylan Dingler's on here again.
Not only is he on here twice, but you had him ranked as 11th and 14th. Interesting.
So
who were the two people in between him? Dylan Larkin was 12. JMO was 13. Makes sense. So we should just make Paul Reed the 11th seed?
I was just going to give Abuka Corey a free pass to advance to the round of 32.
Okay.
So let's do that.
Sure. Shout out to Abuka Corey.
For defeating Dylan Dingler's evil clone, Dingler Dylan. Number 22, Jalen Duran versus number 43, Tyleek Williams is our last matchup of the first round.
Got to be Duran. Tyleek Williams, like, honestly, one of the more forgotten about first round picks of the Brad Holmes era.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're the 29th pick.
Yeah.
You're in a role early on.
You don't have any like court cases going on that are like making your name more popular.
But also the whole season or half the season, we were anticipating the return of somebody that played your position. So you kind of got pushed aside when Ali McNeil came back.
Could like make a name for himself this season, totally.
100% now that DJ Reader's gone.
Yeah. If Terrion Arnold was still in Detroit, what seed would he be? Because I think
Probably
all of
40s.
the stuff going on has made him way higher on this list.
Oh, you think it'd be higher?
I think it'd be higher for sure.
I think it'd be in the 30s or 40s, late 30s.
Probably, yeah.
All right.
Gary said, "Give me Dingler again."
No, no.
2 Dinglers. All right, we're in the second round of the Detroit Sports Bracket. Let's go.
Okay, all the way back to the top.
Link is in our YouTube chat once again if you want to follow along.
Penei Sewell versus Kyder Montero. And Kyder Montero has become a Swiss Army knife of sorts. He took on the Troy Melton role from last year to where, hey, you're just going to do a little bit of everything. Sometimes we need you to come out of the pen. Sometimes we need you to be a long reliever. Occasionally you'll close games. You'll spot start here too. There is an invaluable portion of that. Like having someone who can do that and is willing to do that. He's truly been one of the MVPs for the Tigers this season. And with that being said, the Tigers are under 500.
And he just has to face the number 1 overall seed of this bracket in round 2.
Penei Sewell.
Yeah, it was like the year that Michigan State was the 9 seed. It's like we all know that they're way better than this, but like they just have to face 1 seed in North Carolina in round 2. And that sucks. But yes, I do think that this is kind of curated for Penei Sewell to win. So I'm interested to see how this is going to go.
You mean because he's the 1 seed? Isn't that like always how it works?
I think this whole exercise mainly was even created in the fact just to say, hey guys, by the way, Penei Sewell is like the number 1 guy in Detroit.
Hey, we'll see how this thing ends up playing out.
Yeah.
Penei Sewell moves on to the
Penei
Sweet
Sewell.
16. I mean, like this. If there's a lock to get to the Final Four, though, Penei Sewell would be one of them.
I don't know, Ben. I think this one of the guys in this next matchup here has got a good case.
Oh boy,
The
Sam
16 versus
Laporta.
17 seed here.
Sam Laporta versus Dan Campbell. I assume the person you're previewing that could take down Penei Sewell is in fact Dan Campbell.
100%.
And I think
100,000%.
even though Sam Laporta's stats have declined for 2 seasons in a row since his rookie year, I think he's gotten better as a player. It's mostly been about the games that he's played that have gone down as to why his raw stats have gone down. But from a production standpoint and a efficiency standpoint, he's just continued to get better in my mind. But Dan Campbell is the guy who probably deserves more credit than anybody else in the entire organization for why the Detroit Tigers have turned things around.
The Lions, yeah.
The Lions have turned things around, correct.
Yes, and I just do think from a popularity standpoint as well, like Dan Campbell, everybody knows Dan Campbell, man. Like, you know what I mean?
An icon in this city.
He is. He like truly is one of the faces of Detroit. Obviously, just because being the coach of the football team, you'll always feel that way. But even like you look at the Dallas Cowboys. There's a Dallas Cowboys. You think all their people in Dallas know who Brian Schottenheimer is?
Well, they do, but they don't worship him the way that Lions fans worship Dan Campbell.
He is worshipped, and I think there's always the controversy with him too. You know, with going for it on 4th down and everything that comes with all the risks that he takes. That makes his even higher, I think, because there are people that are out on Dan Campbell because of that. It at least makes him more entertaining. Yeah, Dan Campbell for sure moving on here. Probably seated a little low, 17th. I get like he's the highest non-player, right? So that's fair still. But yeah, Dan Campbell for sure.
Sorry, Sam Laporta. Kevin McGonigal or Troy Melton. I would say the number one core piece for the Tigers on offense and the number one core piece of the Tigers in the pitching staff as well.
Probably.
Funny how this one ended up working out.
Yeah, the 8 versus 25 seed here. It still for sure is McGonigal, right?
Yes.
Melton, love Melton. Love the guy.
And I do think that Melton is one of the more, under the radar guys across the entire league.
Yeah, I was going to say across baseball, yes.
Whereas McGonigal is obviously one of the premier young stars that we have.
First year All-Star. I mean, that in itself should be enough for him to move on here.
Correct. The next matchup, the 9 seed Riley Green versus the 24 seed Lucas Raymond.
The thing with Raymond is, now that the Wings potentially are going to move off of Dylan Larkin, who becomes the face of the Wings?
I'd argue they don't have one, even with Larkin. Larkin,
well, there has to be one, though, right?
Larkin and Raymond and Mo Sider are standing side by side, and I don't know, one of them scores more, so in terms of the face of the league, or face of the team, that's probably giving him an advantage. But in terms of your peers, I think Mo Sider's a better. Yeah, that I didn't even think about. Mo Sider's a better defenseman than Lucas Raymond is a better scorer.
Yeah, I think we take Riley Green here because I love the Sweet 16 matchup of McGonigal and Riley Green.
Yeah,
that I love that. So that's why I think we take Riley Green.
Jahmyr Gibbs, the number 4 seed overall.
This is a good one.
Versus Scott Harris, number 36 seed. Jahmyr Gibbs, I can only think of one bad thing he's ever done, and that's the fumble in the 49ers game. Scott Harris, I can think of
I can only think of one
things,
good thing he's ever done.
And that was return Gleyber Torres.
Maybe the How You Lee trade for Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah. Signed Gleyber Torres in the first place.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I'll go with Jahmyr Gibbs.
For sure, Jahmyr Gibbs. But if we want to go off hey, who's been talked about more in the last couple months?
It might still be Jahmyr Gibbs.
It might still be.
Okay, let's do one more.
Ooh.
This one's really interesting. Jamison Williams as a 13 seed versus Casey Mize as a number 20 seed. Both got off to very slow starts to their career. Both have been, I don't want to say J-Mo's been injury plagued, but the beginning of his career was injury plagued.
Yeah.
Casey Mize has been injury plagued in his career.
Just putting together full seasons has been an issue for both of these guys.
Yet both of them over the last 2 seasons have broken out and become really valued pieces, not only around Detroit, but Major League Baseball and the NFL in general, to the point where Jameson Williams is getting honorable mention votes for top 10 receivers in football. Casey Mize is listed as one of the 10 best players available at this year's deadline. That is one of the best right-handed arms that could get moved the way that he's pitching. He was an all-star last year, for crying out loud. JMO's yet to be named to a Pro Bowl team, but I think we all understand the value that JMO brings in terms of stretching a defense, even before the snap happens. This is a really fascinating one. I think just off rip, Jameson Williams is a better player than Casey Mize is. He's on the field more often.
You think so?
I think he's impacting the game a lot more. But then,
I don't know. Casey Mize was an all-star last year, and he's having a better year than he had in his all-star season.
That's true. That's true.
If there was no threat of Casey Mize being traded, I think he would be the pretty obvious answer. But I think the fact that he could just be gone off this team in a month, less than 2-3 weeks, kind of lowers my expectation here.
Whereas JMO signed to a long-term contract right now.
And JMO does have the fan favoritism to him way more than Casey Mize does.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the answer is JMO.
Which leads us to the fastest matchup of all time in the round of 16, Jameson Williams versus Jahmyr Gibbs.
Ooh, that's fun.
Little preview there. Look at the way that the first 3 matchups of the round of 16 have played out. Again, I didn't build the bracket. The computer built the bracket. I just made the seeds. Penei Sewell versus Dan Campbell, 2 Lions. Kevin McGonigal versus Riley Green, 2 Tigers. Jameson Williams versus Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 Lions, and 2 of the fastest Lions. And here's our next round of 32 matchup. Amon-Ra St. Brown versus A.J. Hinch. We'll pick a winner when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Minute. The 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Aired Insurance. Not everyone understands, but Aired Insurance does. They want to put you in a better position. Whether it's your home or auto or life or business coverage, they make sure your protection actually fits your life. If you're looking for a team that takes the guesswork out of insurance, this is it. Be sure to go follow Aired Insurance Group on social media to stay connected every day and see how they're helping people along the way.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, the next matchup we have Amon-Ra St. Brown versus A.J. Hinch. Amon-Ra, as I stated a handful of times yesterday, perhaps the most, I don't think he's an underrated receiver in the NFL anymore because he's, everyone recognizes how good he is. But man, like, I don't think it's appreciated enough that over the past 3 seasons, he's ranked first, second, and third in touchdowns, receptions, and yards. Like that's an unbelievable stat. And up until this season, I would have said A.J. Hinch is one of the best managers we have in baseball across both leagues. He is outstanding at the X's and O's. He sees ahead. He knows what's going to happen in the 7th inning. But this year it's put a damper on everything that he has accomplished here in Detroit because the fascination with Jahmai Jones. I know Jahmai Jones isn't here anymore. The, taking pictures out of the game so early. The pinch hitting Kerry Carpenter. It became like implausible how asinine some of these decisions were. So I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown. A year ago, this might have been a lot closer.
Yeah, I don't disagree by any means.
Okay. Well, the next matchup is the number 53 seed Hooper, who beat Dylan Larkin in the first round.
Yep, screw him.
A lot of momentum. Versus Gleyber Torres, the number 21 seed. So this is one of those cases. It's like, can the 15 seed stay hot?
Run.
Can he stay hot? Gleyber Torres, another guy who could be traded at this year's deadline if he was healthy, but right now is not healthy. Most likely not going to be on the team after this season.
I think he still gets traded because he rehabbed this week. I think he's going to return to the Tigers within the next week or so. Kind of return back to playing, hopefully. Here's my take on this matchup.
Sure.
Between Hooper and Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres has played in less than half of the games this year.
Mm-hmm.
How many of the home games does Hooper go to?
Every single game.
Has he ever missed a game?
Not once in his entire life.
Never misses a game. He is there, and he puts on the same performance every single time.
For the love of the game, for the love of the people, he's shooting T-shirts out of cannons. He's hitting the Thunder Six defense. He's going up and down the crowds.
He's dunking it during the halftime. Like
Hooper dunks a basketball during halftime. That is correct.
Yeah, I don't know if Gleyber Torres can dunk.
Gleyber Torres ever come out on a hoverboard? Didn't think so.
Never. Give me Hooper.
I'll take Hooper. We got something special brewing.
We've got a Cinderella in the Sweet 16, folks. The 53-seeded Hooper.
Gets a lot tougher after that.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer he can go after that.
Cade Cunningham, the 2 seed overall, versus Colt Keith, the 31 seed in this entire bracket.
Double cuz.
Yeah, Colt Keith and Cade Cunningham. Couple of cuss sounds. 4 cuss sounds.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with Cade.
It's Cade.
Sorry, Colt.
Here's a good one.
The number 15 seed Asar Thompson and another potential guy who can make a Cinderella story here, Jake Bates, the number 47 seed. Asar Thompson versus Jake Bates.
Oh.
So to your point the last time, you can think of a handful of clutch moments from Jake Bates. Some big-time moments that made him have the legacy that he does, that he just doesn't miss clutch kicks. Game-tying, game-winning field goals. He's never missed one his entire career. Now, with that being said, he's a middle-of-the-road kicker. He was a subpar kicker specifically last season.
Awesome nickname.
Correct. Then I'm gonna
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm gonna
I'm not going
restrain
to say
myself
it.
from
yeah,
saying.
exactly.
Asar Thompson. I mean, what this guy
He's
was
got
doing
moments,
in the playoffs last
The
year
two-hand
was like,
volleyball spike block in the series against Cleveland, like, I mean, the defensive highlights just from this year's playoffs.
and it's not just like the oh my god, he jumped so high blocks and the steals. It's like those
It's everything.
24-second possessions
Yeah, it's
where
his lateral quickness. It's just all of it.
when you watch him guard 4 different guys in the same possession and every single one of them ends up getting stonewalled, and then he just jumps into a passing lane and rips a ball and goes and dunks it down the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, this is tough.
It's tough, and I think the kicker of the football team, like, deserves. They are a much bigger, like, celebrity and face of the city than most people would think.
Not always. I mean,
But,
who's the last?
But I'm going to say, unless there's a team that just doesn't have a consistent kicker. If you're a team that has had the same guy for some years, they're a big deal.
Which
Jake
isn't
Bates is
most
becoming that.
teams. Most teams
Yeah.
are in that revolving door, and it's kind of hard to like find your this is our kicker for the future.
Kickers are very much like relief pitchers. They'll have a really good year and then they'll have an off year, and it's like, hey, we could easily go find somebody that's better right now.
I would say only about a third of the league has like their true kicker that they don't plan on moving off of anytime soon. And I don't think Jake Bates is in that group quite yet. He didn't have a good year last year.
Yeah,
the
but he's
thing
close.
is, he's just always clutch.
Yeah. If he had like a good year this year and continue to be clutch, I think he just is the Lions kicker.
Until he misses one of these game-tying, game-winning field goals, he's the Lions kicker. Like, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
Because we trust him right now.
Gary makes a good point. Either way, this person is just going up against Cade Cunningham in the next round.
Okay, but we got to do it justice here.
Yeah.
A trip to the
I think
Sweet
it's Asar.
16
I think it's Asar Thompson.
I do too. Jake
Yeah.
Bates had a bad year
Like
last
Asar
year.
Thompson, also the best defender in the world that is a human being.
Any defenders from Earth. Asar Thompson,
Yes,
number one.
exactly. So like that deserves a Sweet 16 appearance, I would say.
Okay. Next round of 32 matchup. And look at that. We get the more theme of same team versus same team. Cade Cunningham and Asar Thompson in the
That's
next
true.
round. Next matchup. Jared Goff versus Jackson Joe.
Jared Goff. Jackson Jobe. And it doesn't hit the same. Give me Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. The next one. Jack Campbell versus Kerry Carpenter. Kerry Carpenter like escaped death in the first round, basically. He was like Argentina. It was like one of those high seeds.
We were about to vote him out.
It was like one of those 3 seeds in the tournament that just like plays a really close game. Like remember Duke? Maybe it was Duke. Remember Duke last year in the tournament? I don't even remember who they played against, but it was like, wait, this game's really close. Duke's going to pull ahead at some point, right? And then they like never really did until the last 2 minutes of the game. And it was like, wow, they really
You're talking
had to
about when they
sweat
lost
that
to
one out.
UConn?
No. I'm talking Duke in the round of 64 last year.
Oh, yes.
That was
Siena or something like that they played? Yeah.
Yeah, that was Kerry Carpenter in the first round of this tournament against Blake Miller. Now, usually those teams end up just correcting everything and going on runs. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, Kerry Carpenter's run into what I believe is the second best player on the Lions defense in Jack Campbell.
Yeah, I'm cool with Jack Campbell advancing here. I think if he faced like a more popular player here in round 2, there's a world where he doesn't advance.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jack Campbell certainly is not a household name despite how good he is. And I think that does matter.
Is he the biggest discrepancy in terms of household name versus how good they actually are? Because I think
From that ratio, because I think it can go the flip side too.
Well, let's do that ratio first in terms of popularity versus how good they actually are. I think the ratio, like Jack Campbell and Troy Melton. Is it? Are we sure it's not Troy Melton?
It could be Troy Melton. No, it's Jack Campbell. It's Jack. I mean, he's the best linebacker in football last year.
What about vice versa? The guys who are
Way more popular. Like
they actually are
Max
good.
Clark kind of fits that. I think Isaac Tesla fits that mold a little bit just from a Detroit perspective.
Yeah, I think it's Tesla.
I think so
it's
too.
Tesla.
I'm checking to see. Like if Terry and Arnold was on here, I think we'd have a chance. Is Jalen Duran fit that now?
Well, I think we're about
No.
to get to Jalen Duran here pretty quickly.
Paul Reed,
Might be Paul Reed. Although he just comes in and balls every time.
B-ball Paul, man.
Tarek Skubal or Brad Holmes?
Man, what a big time second round matchup.
Tarek Skubal, the 3 seed versus Brad Holmes, the 35 seed.
I mean, hear me out, dude. I'm not like locking in that I want Brad Holmes over Tarek Skubal here. I think this is a lot tighter than I would expect.
Well, let's talk it out. So far, we've had some upsets, don't get me wrong, but we have yet to have a top 4 seed be eliminated.
Yeah.
It's not like we can just go chalk the entire time of 4
Sure.
1 seeds. That's only happened once.
I
right?
think the consensus on Skubal is just people are just,
They're tired of him. They're sick of Tarek
Yeah.
Skubal. And let's also not forget, Tarek Skubal, since he's come back, has been really good. I wouldn't say he's been Cy Young caliber since he's returned from injury. And he did get injured this year. Like, that's just something
agree.
that happened. Brad Holmes, yeah, let's not act like he's flawless.
Yeah.
He's made a handful of mistakes. Drafting Terrion Arnold pretty much solidifies the fact that 2024 draft class is horrific. But it also followed up one of the most legendary draft classes we've had in the 21st century of any team. You know, this past draft, I know we have to let it play out. And I loved everything that they did in this year's draft between Blake Miller and then taking Derek Moore, taking Keith Abney, taking Jimmy Rolder. Like, I loved what they did in this year's
and
draft.
the 25 draft could end up being pretty good too.
Yeah,
You know, if
with
Tyreek
Ratledge
really
and-
does play a lot this year, but Ratledge, we're very excited about him. Tesla, of course.
I think Brad Holmes has gotten the Lions closer to winning a Super Bowl than Tarek Skubal ever has getting the Tigers to winning a World Series. Because Skubal, it's not like he's got this immaculate playoff resume. Whereas everything the Lions have ever accomplished in the playoffs
Was
should
because of
probably
Holmes.
it is because
Yeah,
of the
and-
roster that Brad Holmes has constructed.
And people have the issues with Brad Holmes, but at the end of the day, the Lions we would not even be in this position nearly if it wasn't for him. And Skubal's on his way out, man, and I think people are fed up with him. I know he's an amazing pitcher, but there's a reason why we all love Troy Melton and we're excited about Job and we love Mize. It's because we've kind of forgotten about Skubal at this point. I think we take Brad Holmes.
Our first major
Huge upset.
The 3 seed Tarek Skubal falls to Brad Holmes.
If anybody has an issue too and wants Skubal to advance, let us know. You could sway us.
This one's really, really fun. Dylan Dingler versus Brian Branch.
Ooh, that is a fun one.
Dylan Dingler has solidified himself for this season. Now, baseball is the sport where it fluctuates more than any other sport in terms of you're awesome this year, you might not actually be awesome. I do think Dylan Dingler's awesome. Top 5 WAR in the American League. Perhaps the best catcher in the American League on both sides, behind the dish and at the plate. And then you have Brian Branch, who, when he's at his best, I swear to God, it's like watching a reincarnation of Ed Reed or whoever you want, like Troy Polamalu. It is sensational the way that this guy moves, flips his hips, and defends everywhere, not only in the passing game, but comes in and lays the thunder down at the line of scrimmage in the run game as well. The way that, they can line up in the box. He's played nickel before. He's basically an extension of your linebacker room, yet the way he can close a gap in the secondary and just collide with the receiver and have a pass breakup. It's like I could watch those highlights all day long. This is maybe the most difficult matchup we've had the entire time.
I think the answer is Dylan Dingler. You think it's Branch?
How much does the Brian Branch injury
It plays.
sway your
It
decision?
does. It does sway my decision. I just think Dingler has established himself as the best guy at his position, whereas we can't say the same about Branch right now. We could at some point eventually, but I think
Do you think Branch got there before his injury, though? Because I would argue Dylan Dingler hasn't been doing it long enough to where
he
we've
hasn't.
seen Brian Branch do it 2.5 years of dominant secondary play.
Yeah.
This was a guy who, from training camp, it was like, oh, yeah, this guy has to be a day one starter. It just doesn't matter that he's a rookie. He has to be out there in training camp. Or he has to be out there week 1. And remember, the first year he was nickel, so it's not like he was just out there the entire time anyway. But remember how fed up we used to get when he wasn't out there, when he was only playing half the snaps?
Yeah.
We're like, they need to be in the nickel package more because of how good Brian Branch is. He's been that good since he was a rookie. That would be my case for Brian Branch.
Then I guess we go with Brian Branch.
Or is this one where we let the people decide?
Gary says Dylan Dingler. He's our lone guy in the YouTube chat giving his take. So we don't need to let it ride on just Gary. Gary did say Tarek Skubal always gets pulled early anyways. from the last matchup.
We did get
which
a
is pretty
text
funny.
not that long ago that said it should have been Scooble. But I think we were
Too
pretty set
late.
on Brad Holmes. Here's the deal. One singular text to come in, 989-837-6125, and that will decide the Dylan Dingler, Brian Branch debate. Who moves on to the round of 16, the Sweet 16, will be decided by the people. And when we come back, we'll get to whoever texted in. So you guys got a chance to impact the bracket. Just text in Dingler or Branch to 989-837-6125, and we'll see what happens. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. We'll take a trip around the league coming up in the 10 o'clock hour as well. Haven, Michigan, do your eyes feel itchy, irritated, or dry? That is not normal. Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic specializes in dry eye treatment that actually works. If your eyes burn, feel tired from screens, they can help get real lasting relief. From advanced dry eye care to glasses, contacts, they've got you covered. Stop dealing with the discomfort and start seeing comfortably again. See better, feel better with Mid-Modern Eye Care.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky's. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
An overwhelming amount of Brian Branch. No, I'm just kidding. An overwhelming amount of Dylan Dingler texts. We got one Brian Branch text. Brian Branch, one-time Pro Bowler, 5th in Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think we're forgetting how good Brian Branch is, but I will go to the people on this one. Everyone wants Dingler, so Dingler's moving on.
YouTube is all over Dylan Dingler as well.
Okay. I'll admit defeat on this one. Well, not defeat, but just I'll acknowledge the people.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to it. Okay.
Wrap up the round of 32 here.
And then around the league. Dylan Dingler moves on. Aiden Hutchinson or Kirby Joseph?
Lions battle, defensive Lions battle too.
I mean, it's Aiden Hutchinson, but
yeah.
Man, shout out 2025 Kirby Joseph.
And both of
that was unreal.
Both of the Lions safety duo going out back to back. That's tough.
Thought they were the best safety duo in the NFL.
Shout out to Hutch.
So, looking at this, we had one team get disqualified. The second Dylan Dingler, his clone. So Abuka Corey moved on. So now it's Abuka Corey as the 54 seed. I think that's the highest seed to move on. Versus Jalen Duran, the 22 seed.
Yeah, Hooper, the 53 seed, just barely. This is Duran, right? I mean, Abuka Corey's only here because of default.
Yeah. I do love me some Abuka Corey, though. Jalen Duran moves on.
Okay.
And look at that. Jalen Duran's one of the 16 best guys that we've got left in this thing. How about that? Who would have thought?
Sweet 16 is here.
The Sweet 16
Do you want to read off
arrived.
the matchups before we do into around the league?
The Sweet 16 matchups are Penei Sewell versus Dan Campbell, Kevin McGonigal versus Riley Green, Jahmyr Gibbs versus Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Hooper, Cade Cunningham versus Sar Thompson, Jared Goff versus Jack Campbell, Brad Holmes versus Dylan Dingler, and Aiden Hutchinson versus Jalen Duran. Let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, the safeties list came out today. Kyle, I want you to name all the safeties in the top 10 according to executives, scouts, and coaches. Can you get all 10 of these with only 3 mistakes? I think
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Safeties is kind of a difficult one.
It is.
But we're going to find out.
But
Let's
I
do
think
it.
there is a consensus number 1 safety.
Yeah. I think there's a good amount. Like, I should be able to nail like the first 5 or 6 guys without anybody missing any. Anyways, here we go. Kyle Hamilton will be at the top of this list.
Correct. He's number 1. He was last
pretty
year's
obvious
number
one.
1 as well. Best safety in the NFL.
As far as number 2, number 2 is kind of difficult. There's been a lot of really good safeties that have fallen off a little bit in the NFL.
And some that have re-risen.
Some that have re-risen. I do wonder if if one of the Lions guys is on here. The injury stuff, it's hard to tell with the injuries.
Thing is, there's not a lot of elite safeties, and the Lions both were elite safeties at one point.
Right, that's kind of what I was thinking. So I don't think he'll be number 2, but I assume Branch is on here, so I'll guess him.
He's number 4.
Okay.
He was 2 last year.
One of the guys that was really good, I think 2 years ago, and then last year he was a little bit worse. Maybe I'm getting my years mixed up, but I'm guessing that fellow NFC North safety Xavier McKinney is on here.
He is number 3 and was number 3 last year.
Okay, see, I think 2 years ago was his big year.
Now, the person who was number 2 was ranked as high as 1, but their lowest ranking was 5. Last year, they were 6.
Okay. So we had a really good year last year that was kind of all right. See, some of these older guys are tough for me. But guys like Jesse Bates, like, are they still a top 10 safety? Is like Justin Simmons still? I'll guess Jesse Bates. I think he had a pretty good year last year.
Jesse Bates was number 5.
Really? Okay.
Good year for Atlanta.
Yeah. See, he had a good year. Simmons is a guy that I don't really want to guess. I'm not going to guess him.
Don't guess Jeffrey Simmons. Or not Jeffrey Simmons.
Justin
Simmons.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got the top 5 except for number 2. Oh, is Derwin James number 2?
Derwin James is number 2.
Really? He's number 2. Wow.
He is re-risen.
Yeah, so he was the re-risen guy. Okay. This is where things are going to get a bit tricky.
Don't overthink it.
Outside of the
there's
top
some
five.
big time names you still haven't said.
Like Minka Fitzpatrick, is he still a top 10 safety in the game? There's no way.
No.
I'm just thinking of big names now. Big names. Oh, what about okay, so like does our guy Nick Emanwari count?
Absolutely, he counts. Yeah,
Okay.
Nick Emanwari is 6th.
Okay. Yep, Nate in the YouTube chat said who's the Seattle guy I'm forgetting. Thank you, Nate. He's number 6. Okay, so there's a top 6.
Just need the 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hufanga is probably not on here anymore.
No.
Of Denver
No.
now. Okay.
Still receiving votes category.
Now, another one of those older guys that's just kind of fallen off. The safeties really do have quick windows. What about Julian Love? Probably not on here of the Seattle Seahawks, right? I don't know if they counted both of those guys.
Nope.
He had a really good year last year.
Also receiving votes category.
Okay.
I mean, you're forgetting one big name.
I probably am. Give me a conference.
AFC. The next three, I'm sorry, NFC. The next 3 guys are all NFC players.
Okay, all NFC players. I mean, I'll just throw Kirby Joseph's name out there. Screw it.
Yeah,
He's on here?
he's number 9.
Nice. Shout out to Kirby Joseph. Okay, I'm forgetting a big name. Is he like an older guy then? Kind of has built a legacy for himself?
Yeah, he's on the older side of things.
NFC.
Madden, just
Popular
a
name?
glitch in Madden.
I don't really play Madden. Popular guy, though?
Yeah, very popular.
Ah, man, who am I forgetting right now? Nate says Kyle Hamilton. I already got him, man. Who am I forgetting?
Really bad team that he plays on. Requested
okay.
a trade at one point, but then is fine being
Buda
back.
Baker?
Yeah, Buda.
Yeah, I should have got him.
Buda Baker.
Where's he, number 7?
He's number 8.
Okay.
There's
Yeah, he did
another
request a
NFC
trade.
safety ahead of him. A Super Bowl champion.
Oh, a Super Bowl chip. Well, no, it's not going to be one of the Philly guys, I don't think. I don't think any of them are good enough to be on here.
Nope.
They're mainly the corners are their good spots in the secondary. Who else won a Super Bowl? Not Seattle. The Rams, no way.
Nope.
Oh, is it Antoine Winfield?
It is Antoine Winfield. There you go. That's number 7.
Big moment in the Super Bowl
I
as
don't
well.
think you're going to get number 10.
Okay. That's the only one I have left?
Yeah.
Give me a division then if I'm not going to get it.
AFC South.
Oh, God. Yeah, I can't think of a safety on the Colts. I can't think of one on... wait a second. The Texans... They have a good dude in their city. Yeah,
They
yeah.
do. Not only do they have one, they have another guy who got an honorable mention in Jalen Petrie.
Oh, Petrie was actually the guy I was thinking of.
The guy that's number 10 is Kalen Bullock.
Yeah, I would not have gotten that. Petrie was actually the guy I was thinking of.
You've got a nasty safety
That's it?
duo, man.
That's
it.
the top 10?
That's the top
Who
10.
else was honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions were Jalen Petrie, Trevon Moyrig from Carolina,
Mulrig, yeah.
Xavier Watts from Atlanta, Kobe Bryant from Chicago, Grant Delpit from Cleveland, and then Minka, Jalen Ramsey,
Yeah.
Kevin Byard, Byron Cook, Ufunga, all
Ramsey.
receiving votes.
Okay,
And
not
Ramsey
bad.
does play safety
I'm
these
just happy
days.
that both of the Lions made it.
There you go. All right, that's around the league. We'll keep going with our Sweet 16 when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, the Sweet 16 has been set. Penei Sewell, Dan Campbell, Riley Green, Kevin McGonigal, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hooper, Cade Cunningham, Asar Thompson, Jared Goff, Jack Campbell, Brad Holmes, Dylan Dingler, Aiden Hutchinson, Jalen Duran. So we've only had one top 4 seed be eliminated, and that was Tarek Skubal. The other top seeds are still around. That's Penei Sewell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Cade Cunningham. Who would you say is the favorite to win the whole thing right now, based on like not only what you thought coming in, but also looking up their Sweet 16 matchups too? I'm really liking Aiden Hutchinson's path
I think
to
the
get
bottom
to
of the bracket.
championship.
I think the bottom of the bracket is you'd rather be down there. The top half having Sewell, Campbell, St. Brown, and Gibbs, and even McGonigal. Like, the top half of the bracket is a much more difficult run.
Not to look too far ahead, but the potential Cade Cunningham, Jared Goff matchup in the Elite Eight for a chance to go to the Final Four
It's like Duke UConn last year, man.
doesn't get a whole lot better than that right there. I also like how many. I can't believe Hooper's in this. How many like same sport matchups we have where it's like 2 Lions, 2 Pistons, 2 Tigers.
See, I almost don't like it because that makes it easier. When it's the cross sport ones, I have no idea how to even like judge that. Like if it is going to be Cade Goff, like that's just it's hard to like figure it out.
Well, if all the matchups are like that right now, it means all the matchups in the Elite Eight shouldn't be like that
For sure.
at all. I would say I'm having fun so far. This has been a fun little thing, and also appreciate everybody for texting in when we couldn't decide whether it should have been.
We're
going to
need
Branch
some
or
help
Dylan Dingler.
for these last couple ones too, because these are going to be like the really tough ones
We
that I
are-
could see us disagreeing on.
For sure going to need some help here. So we're going to start the round of 32, or the round of the Sweet 16, once the 11 o'clock hour rolls around. Real quick, though, just a PSA. I can't believe how nasty it is outside right now, Kyle. And not to be like I don't really want to hear them talk about the weather, but it has not been. There has been wildfires, Canadian fires that have affected Michigan. It feels like 4 summers in a row. Never once has it been like this. This is insanity. The vision, you can't really see all that far. The visibility, it smells like a bonfire everywhere. The air quality index is like 300 right now, and they say 190 is where you should probably not be going outside very much. But I look outside and I see construction workers still at it. This is unlike anything I've ever experienced, and apparently it is twice as bad, both in southern Michigan right now near Detroit and up in like northern Michigan in like Mackinac and stuff. I saw some pictures of the bridge. Oh my God, that looked like you were just driving into like
The abyss.
in an abyss. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, the weather, like the Apple weather app, maxes out at 500, but this Air Now website, which is a government-run website, like explains it at a further level. Right now in Detroit, it is 650.
And they say
That's
190
twice as bad as here. Right now, it's a 340 here in the Bay Area.
and they said it's 190 is where it's not supposed. You're not really supposed to be outside.
190 is when it's like, okay, you probably shouldn't like do like exercises outside. You shouldn't be outside for an extended period of time.
Yeah. I don't ever remember it being this bad. I don't remember the smoke being this low to the ground. Like, that's, I think, what it is. I remember it being like, oh, yeah, look into this air. Look into the sky. It's super smoky. It's super cloudy.
Yeah.
But this is like, it is ground level. You are walking into smoke if you walk from your car to the building you work in.
Anybody that works outside, hopefully you're not today, because I couldn't imagine. I mean, just the smell of it, every time you breathe in, it's like you obviously can tell. It's terrible.
Yet, did not stop us from golfing yesterday.
True.
To be fair, it wasn't as bad.
Yeah,
But
it was like half this. It was a 170 yesterday.
But to be fair, also, I swear to God, I was hitting the ball far and straight, and then I just couldn't find my ball, like on a handful of different occasions, because you just can't see where it comes down.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I was losing golf balls yesterday.
And that's why you played bad.
And that's exactly why I played bad, yeah. Hopefully this clears up by the weekend. I would hate for this weekend to be dampened by the air quality.
Oh, of course. I think especially because it's supposed to continue to stay warm.
Yeah, it feels like we're almost getting a summer weekend taking away, or a summer week being taken away from us if this is going to last. And I think it's going to get better.
It's supposed to be 88, 87, 79 Friday, Saturday,
Sounds
Sunday. Like, come on, man.
Perfect. We're being robbed of a great weekend.
Sounds tremendous.
A great July weekend. And you know the thing with summer is it just, man, you like blink and it's half over. Like we're halfway through summer already. So like the weekends are precious.
Yeah.
And it feels like we might have one taken away
Once
from
football
us.
starts, man, summer's over. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Summer doesn't really start until the NBA finals are over.
So we get like a month and a half of summer.
That's really it. Anyway, 989-837-6125. We'll get to our Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, and championship round for the Detroit Sports Tournament to kick off the 11 o'clock hour. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Ben Bosscher, Kyle Sandel behind the glass producing today. We will be right back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.
The Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Round of 16. The Sweet 16, some are calling it. We'll start things off right here. Our Detroit sports bracket. I think, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 athletes, 1 mascot, 1 coach, and 1 GM left here in our bracket. We'll start out with this Sweet 16 matchup at the top of the bracket. Panay Sewell versus Dan Campbell. You accused me of rigging this to where Panay Sewell was going to go all the way towards the very end. Yeah, this was randomized. in a way. I seeded him, but I didn't know the order of the matchups were going to be. I think Penei Sewell has a pretty tough path to the finals, considering
For sure.
it feels like the top half of this bracket is just significantly harder than the bottom half. You guys can follow along on the link that we dropped in the YouTube chat. On one hand, and maybe this is where we will really have to start relying on people to help us out
I
here.
think this one we're going to have to.
You guys are going to decide this one then, because Penei Sewell versus Dan Campbell is something that I almost feel like I can't choose between them. Look, man, I think Penei Sewell is a Hall of Fame lock. I think Dan Campbell is the biggest reason why the Lions have been able to turn things around because of the culture that he's instilled. I wouldn't give him up for nearly any coach in the NFL. Picking between them feels almost impossible right now. So I will throw out the number 989-837-6125 and let the people decide this one and help us out to see who advances to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, because I think Campbell also is just the bigger face of Detroit, right? He's a bigger figure of the city of Detroit, not a literally bigger figure because Penei Sewell is massive. But Sewell is like better at what he does than Campbell is at what he does.
Correct. He's the best offensive tackle in football.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell is around
He's one of the better
eighth.
coaches in the sport, but he's not the best.
He's a top 10 coach.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is the offensive lineman versus the coach of the Lions. And I think that does play into this a little bit. We're going to need help from the people for this one, yeah.
Let's put a pin into that one and come back.
Okay.
Let's circle back to that one because the next matchup is
This
just
one's
as fascinating.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kevin McGonigal, the one-time All-Star, versus Riley Green, the three-time All-Star, a guy that we have basically anointed as the face of the Tigers until Kevin McGonigal came along. And then without Riley Green doing anything wrong, we all kind of just started looking at Kevin McGonigal with the goo goo gaga eyes of like, I think we want to put that theoretical captain logo on McGonigal's jersey rather than Riley's. But is it too early to do that since he's played less than one full season? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think the answer is McGonigal here. It's just like if you ask anyone who's the best player on the Tigers, the best hitter, position player, whatever you want to say, I think most people would say McGonigal. And then you add in the fact that he is the young guy. It's in his first year. He's made the All-Star game. Feels like the future of the Tigers no matter what. Even if you think Riley's better right now, everybody agrees that McGonigal is like the face of the Tigers going forward. And so I don't think it is too early. I think McGonigal's the answer.
Kevin McGonigal advances to the Elite Eight. Let's circle back to the top because we got a couple of texts.
Really? Already?
Some suggesting Dan Campbell, some suggesting Penei Sewell. But there is one text that, with an explanation, says exactly what you said. Penei Sewell is at the top of the offensive tackles in the league, while Campbell is probably the seventh or eighth best coach. So I'd have to go with Penei Sewell advancing.
So you just read the text that said Sewell wins so that you could have Sewell advance.
Correct. No, nobody. We had one text that said Dan Campbell. We had two that said Penei Sewell. That's the only one with an
We
explanation.
have a YouTube chat. MCDC has had more effect on the city of Detroit than Penei Sewell. I think that's completely fair.
I think it is. Okay, we're waiting on more text messages then to convince us because this one is
I think it's
seemingly
Campbell.
impossible.
I do think it's Campbell, but like it's hard to eliminate Penei Sewell, obviously.
Okay, we'll wait and see what other people have to say about that because I think I am leaning more Penei Sewell right now. You are leaning more Dan Campbell. It feels as if our votes are completely split down the middle in terms of asking the audience.
Yeah.
So we will wait and see what people have to say on the message line. 989-837-6125. Next one, the Speedsters. Jahmyr Gibbs versus Jamison Williams. Perhaps two of the fastest players that we have here in the NFL.
For sure the fastest two guys in the city and in this bracket. It's just Gibbs, though. Like this one doesn't take much thought into it, right?
No, it's Gibbs.
Yeah.
Shout out J-Mo, though. Went on one heck of a run. J-Mo beat
In the
Casey
Sweet
Mize
16.
and Danis Jenkins. Nice. This is the last one in the top half of the bracket. Amon-Ra St. Brown versus Hooper. Hooper went on one hell of a run,
the
but
Sweet
usually
16 Cinderella run of Hooper.
Usually the Sweet 16 is where the Cinderella runs come to an end, and this is unfortunately where I have to say Amon-Ra St. Brown will take down Hooper. But shout out Hooper, man. He is the best mascot we have in Detroit.
For sure. And took down a couple of weak opponents in Dylan Larkin and Glaber Torres. So it was positioned well to go on a run in this bracket. And it does create a pretty elite Elite Eight matchup
The 4
of
versus
Gibbs
5
and
seed.
St. Brown. Like that is pretty fun.
It's the 4 versus 5 seed. It's what it's all about. Okay, let's go down. Cade Cunningham versus Asar Thompson. This one's another one that doesn't take a whole lot of thought because they're
same
teammates
team.
and we know exactly which one of them is the superior guy. So Cade Cunningham moves on. This one's tough. The captain of the offense
What?
versus the captain of the defense. Jared Goff versus Jack Campbell.
This one isn't tough.
Hey, all I'm saying is Jared Goff doesn't have a first-team All-Pro to his name.
And Jack Campbell's never had his name chanted in any stadium ever.
You know what? That trumps what I was just saying. So let's go with Jared Goff here. Brad Holmes versus Dylan Dingler.
Oh, man. This is a weird one.
It is a weird one. It's a very odd one. Obviously, Brad Holmes has created something much bigger than what Dylan Dingler is able of create. Look, I think it's Brad Holmes because I don't think Dylan Dingler has solidified himself quite yet as the very best catcher in all of baseball. I think he's in the conversation, and so far this season, I think he has been, of course. If he did this for 2 consecutive years and he just is the best catcher in the American League, is the best catcher in baseball, I would probably lean Dylan Dingler here. But for the longevity and the time and time again of good drafts, good moves, I think I would lead Brad Holmes, but I'm open to other opinions as well.
Going back to the argument people were making for Dingler over Brian Branch that we had in the previous round, it was a lot of people just saying it's having a top 2 to 3 catcher in the sport is like invaluable. You know, it's such a difficult thing to come by a guy that is such an elite bat at the plate while also being elite defensively, MVP candidate type of catcher. You know, like those guys are not easy to come by. So I agree with all of that. But the same argument for Holmes is kind of the one that we've made for Dan Campbell. And if we're saying that Dan Campbell could potentially beat Penei Sewell, we should have no issue saying Brad Holmes should beat Dylan Dingler.
Let's
right?
make sure the people don't want Dylan Dingler, though, because the people have been rallying for Dylan
Yeah,
Dingler
I mean, Dingler's
the
the
entire
man,
tournament.
dude. He's the man. Like, he has had an incredible year this year for the Tigers.
Okay, we'll pause on that one, see if anyone has anything to say. Aiden Hutchinson versus Jalen Duren. I don't think this one's very disputable, but shout out Jalen Duren for getting to the Sweet 16 because this was one where Jalen Duren was like the team in March Madness that has lost like 4 straight games to close the year after going 20-0 to start the year, and it's like, I don't know. And they still made it to the Sweet 16.
But then got a really good draw, and it was like, because no one was picking them, like, oh, this team's for sure getting upset. But then you look at the teams they're playing, and you're like,
Yeah.
actually, pretty easy path to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, he beat Tyleik Williams and Ibuka Corey.
And beat Ibuka Corey by default, too. So, yeah, pretty easy run for Jalen Duren. Please sign a contract with the Pistons.
Aiden Hutchinson moves on. Let's go back to the original conversation we were having. Donald says Campbell's impact extends beyond just football. He has become a symbol of Detroit itself, its toughness, perseverance, and blue-collar mentality. Another text that says, Dan Campbell changed the culture of Detroit football. Sewell is maybe the best tackle in the league. I'll take culture change and trade. I'll take culture change and trade for a tackle. You can't really trade for a tackle, but it sounds like we've got 2 extra texts that are saying Dan Campbell.
Pizza Man does say Penei is a Hall of Famer, though.
Man, we're just like every...
Here we go. Boomer in our YouTube chat says, Penei might not exist as a Lion if not for MCDC. Campbell has to get credit for helping draft him in 2021.
Or is that a Brad Holmes thing and a part of the reason why Dylan Dingler should be moving on?
Yeah.
Or shouldn't be moving on.
But I also do think that, like, I mean, Campbell had to have some influence on that.
Just the way that they wanted to build
Yes.
Yeah, but it
The
also...
first pick of the Campbell-Holmes regime being a Hall of Fame-style pick at pick 7. It's not like it was the first overall pick in the draft.
But should they get... Obviously, they should get the credit for drafting him in this tournament, but should he be propped up because he was that person that they identified, that they wanted to be the foundational inaugural pick of this era? I'm like talking myself in circles here.
Yeah.
You're pretty adamant that it's Dan
I think
Campbell.
the answer is Dan Campbell, man. I think the way that Donald phrased that text is pretty perfectly. Dan Campbell is a symbol of the city. Penei Sewell is an excellent player, and it's not taking away anything from him, but like everybody knows Dan Campbell, and he does kind of resemble everything that Detroit is all about, and just the grit mentality that has come over the Lions and everybody.
Okay, Dan Campbell moves on. Dylan Dingler versus Brad Holmes.
eliminated.
Should we really have Brad Holmes and Dylan? And
I was kind of thinking about that.
like, I'm kind of open to Dylan Dingler here, even though I just made the case of Brad Holmes. Because if he truly
It'd be a
is
lot of
going to
Lions.
become one of the greatest, like one of the best catchers in the league, which seemingly he is, you mentioned the invaluable part of that. He's playing like an MVP.
Yeah. And also, if we did pick Holmes, it would be 6 of the 8 Elite 8 all Lions. Seems a little high.
So let's go Dylan Dingler here. Dylan Dingler.
Wow, another upset. Wait, no, that wasn't an upset, right? Yeah.
No. So the Elite Eight is Dan Campbell, Kevin McGonigal, Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay, hold on. It's Dan Campbell versus Kevin McGonigal. It's Jahmyr Gibbs versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's Cade Cunningham versus Jared Goff, and it's Dylan Dingler versus Aiden Hutchinson.
Ooh.
I mean, good God.
Man, I don't
Every
know.
single
These
one
are
of
going to be
these.
tough.
We'll finish it when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
The Elite Eight, man, this is as good as it gets. Dan Campbell versus Kevin McGonigal. Jahmyr Gibbs versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. Cade Cunningham versus Jared Goff. Dylan Dingler versus Aiden Hutchinson. Where do you want to start things off? Because these are all really hard. I think there is one
Let's do
where
the bottom of the bracket first.
I was gonna say I think there's one where I'm pretty comfortable just saying it's Aiden Hutchinson and moving forward.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dylan Dingler. One hell of a run for Dylan Dingler, by the way. He took out Brad Holmes, Brian Branch, and Ron Holland through the process.
Yeah, and Ron Holland, too.
Taking out Brian Branch and Brad Holmes that's some good stuff.
So going to the Final Four is the 6-seeded Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson to the Final Four.
Nice job.
His opponent will be either Cade Cunningham or Jared Goff.
Oh, actually, can we go back to the top?
Okay, fine.
This is the hardest one, right? This is the toughest Elite Eight matchup? I think it is. Cade and Goff? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's probably the hardest one. Although this one at the top is like extremely difficult too.
All right, let's get Cade and Goff out of the way. Let's go. Once again,
here's the
link is in our YouTube chat if you want to follow along with the bracket.
They're both about top 10 players in the NBA, or in their respective, like Cade, a top 10 player in the NBA, of course. Jared Goff, top 10 quarterback in the NFL, the most important position that we have.
Yeah, but we're talking
I'm
Cade,
just laying
top
it
10
out.
player in the league.
I'm just laying it out.
Okay.
If you replace Cade Cunningham with your average NBA point guard, who would you say is like run-of-the-mill, average NBA, 15th best point guard, starting point guard in the NBA is
De'Aaron Fox at this point?
Sure. Let's say De'Aaron Fox. Are the Pistons a playoff team? I don't think so. If Jared Goff is replaced with the 16th best quarterback in the NFL, Sam Darnold.
I see where you're going.
Brock Purdy.
Sam Darnold. Oh, come on. Those guys are better than 16.
Are they?
Yeah. I think 16, we're getting into like Kyler Murray territory.
What? No,
What?
Kyler Murray's like in the high 20s or like the mid 20s, I would say.
Oh, no. Come on.
So think about it like this. Would you agree with the top 10 quarterback list that we did a couple days ago? Like
Yeah.
those.
I think
10.
Purdy and Darnold are like right outside of it. I think they're like 11 and 12. I think Jalen Hurts is like the 16th
Okay, how about
best
this then?
quarterback.
Baker Mayfield. Is that a fair one?
Sure.
If the Lions have Baker Mayfield, do they go to the playoffs?
Of course they do.
I think the answer is still yes. I love Jared Goff.
I mean,
He's
this is
somewhat of a
obvious,
system
though.
quarterback.
Like, this is an obvious take you're making. And, of course, Cade is better in his sport than Goff is in his sport. The case for Goff is nothing to do with the individual play. It's the fact that he's the quarterback of the football team.
Mm-hmm.
He's Jared Goff. There was a 2-3 year stretch in any Detroit sports place you went to, his name is getting chanted at. You know, he got traded for Matt Stafford, who was the beloved quarterback of everybody's team, and then he goes and wins a Super Bowl for the team that Jared Goff played for.
Yeah, we all like Goff more than we ever liked Stafford.
Goff is just, he is such a popular figure. Not saying that Cade isn't, but like that's the case for Goff, not the skill on the field / court.
Did get a text that said, I don't see anybody chanting Cade Cunningham at every Detroit sporting event. There's no...
Goff doesn't have a signature cleat, though.
Cade, that's true. I think Cade, the way that he backpacks teams, backpacks this roster to wins night in and night out, makes me want to lean more towards Cade Cunningham.
I think I am as well. I just think it's a lot closer than maybe you would think off of rip. Cade not being in the Final Four would feel like a shame because he is like the most... I think he's the biggest star in all of Detroit from a...
marketability.
The case that you're making, you can't survive without him. The other stars, Tarek Skubal, even a Penei Sewell, like these other guys, you can patch it. Cade Cunningham, you can't.
There's no replacing Cade.
Of course not.
He's got the highest WAR of any of these
RP
guys.
in our YouTube chat, Cade is much higher ceiling. Goff is good, but I think the Pistons are nothing without Cade.
I agree.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham moves on, which leads us to a Cade Cunningham, Aiden Hutchinson Final Four matchup. To the top.
Holy smokes.
Dan Campbell versus Kevin McGonigal.
Like, what?
We got a text that said, I think Campbell over McGonigal because Kevin is only a rookie and people will remember Dan Campbell more than 1 year of McGonigal so far. 4 to 5 years later, though, this is probably McGonigal.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We just took Dan Campbell over Penei Sewell. We didn't do all that just to have him lose to Kevin McGonigal in the next round, right?
If Kevin McGonigal keeps doing what he's doing, I think, this texter's right. Like, it's only inevitable that McGonigal becomes a superstar and one of these guys who it's like you look up and he's in year 7 and boom, he's made 6 or
and this
7
guy's
All-Stars.
Yeah, and this guy's like in potential MVP candidate at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Leading the league in hits and walks and batting average, like a ton of really good categories.
Still
WAR,
hitting
as you
20
talk
home
about.
runs.
Yeah.
But Dan Campbell, the legacy that he has built here in Detroit is unmatched.
Like, here's the question I would ask you. If this was Penei Sewell versus Kevin McGonigal, we would be picking Penei Sewell.
Correct.
So that's
it's
why
one
I think,
hell of a run for a rookie.
Yeah, Elite 8, dude. Elite 8 is sick.
By
And
taking out Riley
he's the last
Green.
Tiger, too, by the way. He was the only Tiger that made the Elite 8. Or Dylan Dingler did, too. But
He took out Riley Green, Troy Melton, and his buddy Max Clark through the he was the one that was eliminating all the Tigers.
yeah.
He took out everybody.
Wait, hold up. Gary in the YouTube chat, he's making a case for McGonigal.
Is he saying?
Says McGonigal, he's setting rookie records and all-star in his rookie year. Those are all
It's
true
impressive.
things.
It is impressive.
I still think it has to be Campbell.
I mean, he won the Lions a freaking playoff game, guys.
2 of them.
He won 2 banners as well. Won the division, which seemed
Ben
impossible.
loves banners.
Who doesn't? Give me Dan Campbell.
Yeah, sorry. Dan Campbell in the Final Four.
I think this is the hardest one of the entire Elite Eight.
Really, you do.
Jameer Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. The 4 and the 5 seed for the entire bracket.
For the final spot in the Final Four. So we're going to have 3 of 4 Lions in the Final Four.
I think that's appropriate.
Yeah, honestly, kind of makes sense. I think this is a bit easier than you are alluding to. I think the answer is Jameer Gibbs.
I think that's mostly based on projection. Because I think you and I are aligned that Jameer Gibbs is about to have one of the most magnificent statistical seasons we've ever seen in Detroit for the Detroit Lions. What that doesn't take into consideration is he has not done it yet. Amon-Ra has. He has done it for 3 straight seasons. He's made an all-pro team 3 years in a row. He's been there, done that. While Jameer Gibbs has been patient in waiting for his turn to be the man of this offense, we are yet to totally see that. That would be my Amon-Ra St. Brown case.
Sure. I just don't know if there is a more 100% approval rating beloved guy in Detroit than Jameer Gibbs.
He's electrifying.
Everybody's favorite player is Jameer Gibbs. And not saying St. Brown is he's not 100% beloved, but we remember the drop stuff last year. That stuff was talked about, man.
Mm-hmm.
People were frustrated by that. The podcast stuff sometimes rubs people the wrong way. Jameer Gibbs he's a 100% beloved character, and I think he's more than anyone. I think he's more than Aiden Hutchinson, more than Cade Cunningham, more than obviously St. Brown, who I'm making the case for here. I think the answer is Gibbs.
Jameer Gibbs moves on.
Well, do you think it's St. Brown, though? I mean, if you do think it's St. Brown, we can leave it to the people.
I think it's way closer than you're making it out to be. I mean, we got a text that said St. Brown right now, Gibbs probably next year.
Yeah, wait a second. We got to remember, Gary's reminding me of this. St. Brown literally called us all out and said, we don't know anything.
Oh,
Most of you
yeah.
guys don't know really much about anything.
Oh, never mind. It's Jameer Gibbs.
He called us all idiots.
Yeah, it's got to be Jameer
Forgot
Gibbs.
about that. Jameer would never do that. He just likes wrestling and stuff.
So the Final Four is set. Dan Campbell versus Jameer Gibbs.
Oh, man.
Cade Cunningham versus Aiden Hutchinson. My brain is already hurting. It's melting. This is impossible.
Where do we start?
Let's start at the top.
Dan Campbell versus Jameer Gibbs?
Yeah. Give me any thought that's coming into your brain right now.
I think the case that I just made for Gibbs still applies here. Because Dan Campbell does not have the 100% approval rating. He's not everybody's favorite person.
Dan Campbell didn't fumble in the NFC Championship game, though.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think you're right, though.
I just
The
think
approval
Gibbs
rating
everybody loves Gibbs, man. And if we're doing
Plus,
like this
he's
is
about
the
to back it up.
This is the people's champ. Like, that was kind of the whole phrasing of the beginning of this bracket. That, to me, screams Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs moves on. Jahmyr Gibbs to the championship round. Cade Cunningham versus Aiden Hutchinson will be his opponent.
What do you think here?
I think for a while, Aiden Hutchinson was a hyper-criticized. Well, both of these guys, honestly, were pretty under a microscope in terms of, we need you to be
Cade
perfect.
still is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Aiden Hutchinson was to an extent where it was like, oh, you have 14 sacks? Why don't you have 16? It was like so weird. I never really understood that. But he was a monster this past season.
And
he's
I
led
think
the league in pressures. He's the hometown kid. And I think people are finally accepting the fact that, no, this guy is for sure one of the 5 best edge rushers in the NFL.
But he's not in the elite group, which I think that's where these two guys are very similar. They're both clear superstars of their sport. They're both young superstars of their sport as well. But Cade is not with the Shays
and the Wembies
and the those group of guys, the Jokic's. He's not with the best of the best. Hutchinson is a superstar in the sport. He's not with Myles Garrett. He's not with Micah Parsons. That was proved to us last year when they faced each other twice. So I think they fit a similar mold there, and that's what makes it so difficult to choose. Do we just have to go Cade so that we don't double up on Lions?
Here's my point
Like,
with Hutchinson,
I'm not saying that we have to do that. I'm just asking.
People's champion
Michigan.
from Michigan.
Michigan. National champ.
National champion. Comes in and is just immediately a monster for the Lions. Has this, like, I guess these players have both have had major adversities in terms of injuries that kept them out for almost an entire season. There's a lot of parallels between
Who do you think's
these guys.
got more, like, just off the top of your head? Cade jerseys or Hutch jerseys? What is there more of?
Cade.
You think so?
Well, I mean, think about it like this.
Everybody's got a Lions Hutch jersey.
I know, but if you have a Pistons jersey, you have a Cade jersey.
True.
If you have a Lions jersey,
Yeah,
it
you
doesn't
could-
have to be an Amon Ra.
It could be
Or it
Gibbs.
doesn't have to be a Hutch. Like, I have a Panay Sewell jersey.
Oh, we know.
I would get a Hutch one next, though. Like, he is the hometown
I
guy.
thought you had a Hutch one.
I lost it. I don't know where it went.
So I think we're picking Hutchinson. Is that what we kind of decided here?
Yeah. I'm going Hutch.
Okay.
The Lions rule, which means it's
Championship.
Jahmyr Gibbs versus Aiden Hutchinson. Jahmyr Gibbs clocked in as
The 4 seed?
the 4 seed.
Yeah, he was the 4 seed. Hutchinson was the 6 seed. Hey, so we didn't just come down to the 1 and 2 seed here.
Mm-mm. I think for all the reasons that you've laid out, it's Jahmyr Gibbs. Hutchinson's the hometown guy. He's the grit. He's the blood, sweat, and tears. But Jahmyr Gibbs, that's the guy to slap on the poster. That's the guy to slap on the graphic tees. I got a Jahmyr Gibbs
Sunday Night
graphic.
Football, Jahmyr Gibbs' face is on it, not Hutchinson's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's coming down on the wire tonight? I've got Jahmyr Gibbs in my fantasy league, and he just won me the entire thing. I think it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think he's the people's champ. I do.
Congratulations to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wow.
You are the champion. There you have it. That is our People's Champion, Jahmyr Gibbs. I liked it. We'll make that a tradition.
oops.
All-Star break tradition every single
that was fun, man.
year. I can't believe how it actually worked out pretty well in terms of the timing. We'll get to news when we come back. We'll do our 3 traditions as always. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. I'll be honest, I don't really know anything about technology. That's why I trust Link Technology in Midland. They handle all the complicated stuff like IT support, cybersecurity, cloud solutions, networking, so you don't have to stress about any of it. Whatever your business needs, their team knows exactly what to do and makes it easy to understand along the way. Link Technology, the experts who keep your business running smoothly so you can focus on what you do best.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, what's up, Kyle? It's
Hey,
time
man.
for you to take it away with a trip around the league
Why do you keep doing that?
with the news.
The Mits Morning Catch.
I didn't realize we were back from break either. Turn my headset volume
you
down.
You looked at me all weird, and I was like,
yeah, what's going
Did
on?
you not realize?
No,
Yeah, we're
my
back.
headset volume was down, so I couldn't tell.
Yep, we already took a trip around the league.
So let's do the news.
So we're doing the news, just like earlier when you said that. First off, though, I got to tell you, both Gary and RP in our YouTube chat, they loved that exercise, Ben.
Well,
Said, fun concept for a sports dry season. Good job. Way to make lemonade out of a bag of lemons.
thank you guys. That's very kind.
Yeah. Nice.
glad
of
you
That
guys
was fun.
enjoyed.
That was fun. Jameer Gibbs, the People's Champ. That's the breaking news, everybody. If you got a problem with it, just text Ben at him on Twitter. Okay, the Open is going on right now. The Open Championship. We're in day one. Nearly everybody is, not nearly everybody, a good amount of the field is wrapped up, and most of everyone else is on the back by now. Just a few guys are still on the front. Of course, they're playing over in England, so a lot of, with the time change, you know, it's you wake up this morning, you turn it on, and everybody's already done. Right now, your leaders Daniel Brown and Sungjae Im are both 4 under, but a good outing from Bryson DeChambeau in his return to the majors. He, of course, has missed the cut in all 3 majors this year, which is a pretty big deal for a player of his caliber. He was 3 under today, so that's a good start from him. Scotty Scheffler went 2 under. His day is done. Rory McIlroy is participating currently, and I can't find him anywhere, so that's not a good sign for Rory McIlroy. I'm
that's not good.
He's 1 over through 4. Okay, that's not that bad. So we'll continue to monitor this. Of course, tomorrow will be a much bigger day with the cut coming after tomorrow. At least we have this going on. I know it's a dead sports time that we've talked about, but you got a major in golf going on. Sure. Why not?
Hell yeah, man.
MLB is back tonight, though, so we do have sports going on again. Mets-Phillies on at 7. That's the lone baseball game. And then we will have the rest coming with tomorrow. Tigers-Angels getting started. Troy Melton is back on the mound for Detroit, to be followed by Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize. John Rothstein put out his Big Ten preseason basketball stuff. So we're going to look at that because I think that's fun. He did his Big Ten preseason power rankings. Yes, it's July, folks, but John Rothstein is the world's biggest sicko when it comes to college hoops. He's got Illinois winning the Big Ten, but then both of your teams here in the state at 2 and 3. Michigan State, number 2, and Michigan, number 3. That's his top 3 for this upcoming basketball season in the Big Ten. And I thought notably as well, he did his preseason awards as well. He had Jeremy Fears as his Big Ten preseason player of the year, and his number 1 breakout candidate for this year was none other than Trey McKinney of the Michigan Wolverines, which I think that's a pretty obvious one. Most people are assuming that's going to happen.
You and I were Yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of an obvious one, but this was always someone who I told you by the end of the season last year when March Madness rolled around, I was like, this guy's not a freshman anymore. That freshman title is completely stripped of him at this point because of how much he had stepped up and how much better he had gotten from the beginning of the season versus the end. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was an all Big Ten player by the end of the season.
100% agree. He probably is going to lead him in scoring this year. Unless it's one of the bigs.
Yeah.
Both of these bigs, at least Chom from Cincinnati, a more defensive-minded player. JP Estrella from Tennessee, I guess he might be a scorer, but I don't think either of those guys are going to be 15 to 18 points per game guys where you had like Mara and Yax, of course, are big-time scorers. I would assume McKinney, unless Cadeau really takes on a even bigger role following his most outstanding player of the Final Four.
Yeah.
That could definitely happen as well. We had a trade in Major League Baseball happen during the All-Star break as well. The first place Milwaukee Brewers add to their starting rotation by trading for Lance McCullers of the Houston Astros. And in return, I don't know if you saw this, Ben, pretty interesting based off of the baseball card you got yesterday. The Astros get minor league prospect outfielder Jaden Fielder, the son of Prince Fielder and the grandson of Cecil Fielder. That's crazy to think that Prince Fielder's son is like a prospect in baseball right now.
Prince Fielder's 42.
Yeah.
I would have not guessed that.
Makes
I
you
guess
feel
it has
pretty old.
been a while.
I would assume Jaden Fielder's a younger prospect, probably a teenager or 20 years old. But he is the main prospect going back to Houston, where Milwaukee is adding to their starting pitching with McCullers.
Jaden Fielder's 21.
Oh, okay.
So Prince was 21 when he had him.
I'm trying to remember
Have we
if-
ever had a third-generation player play in
I would assume so.
Major League Baseball?
I would figure. I'm just trying to think if when Prince Fielder was with the Tigers, did we remember like his son being around? Like, do you remember him being around in pregame and stuff like that? Like showing him on the broadcast.
Home Run
and
Derby.
everything?
He was totally around
That's
during
right,
the Home
he
Run
was.
Derby. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
He was like the little kid just hanging out with
That's
Prince.
right.
And he
That's so
won the
funny.
Home Run Derby, and that was the best thing he ever accomplished in Detroit.
Yeah. Now he was just involved in a trade, and he's a prospect in baseball. Pretty crazy.
What team did you say he ended up with?
He is now on the Astros. Was a Brewers prospect.
Is
I was
there a
looking at their
world-
top 30. I didn't see him in there, but
Is there a world where he ends up a Tiger down the line?
sure. Maybe. Who knows? Interesting, though, because the Brewers were a team that was tagged as hey, they might want to trade for Tarek Skubal. They wouldn't extend him, but just to have him for a postseason run, I think this probably nips that in the bud. But we'll see, because the Milwaukee Brewers prospect system is pretty loaded.
By the way, there's been 5 families with 3 generations worth
Okay.
of players.
Who are the most notable ones, if any?
The Cruz family, Jose Cruz Sr., Jose Cruz Jr., and Trey Cruz for the Tigers,
Oh.
all of which for the Tigers.
That's right. Yeah, they talked about that on the broadcast.
The Bell family, Gus Bell, Buddy Bell, David Bell. The Boone family, Ray Boone, Bob Boone, Brett Boone, and then Aaron Boone is a part of that family as well. The Coleman family and the Hairston family.
Sure. Yep. I know all of them.
Yep.
Okay, Alvin Kamara has agreed to rework his deal to stay with the Saints. Alvin Kamara has been a mainstay with New Orleans his entire career, and that's going to happen. So a little running back duo next season between Alvin Kamara and Travis Achan. That's right.
Yeah,
That's-
right, Achan.
That's how you say his name. That's right. Okay, that's all I got for the news, Ben. George Pickens sounds like he's going to play on the tag this season, by the way. He's committed to it, so no sit-out for George Pickens coming this season.
All right, welcome back. We'll get to our 3 traditions when we come back from break. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Minute. Need to ship something? Prime Package compares all 4 major carriers, UPS, FedEx, USPS, and DHL to get you the best price. Right now, save $5 on any service with a minimum $25 purchase. Stop by Prime Package Plus on North Saginaw in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
better. I know you better. I thought
You always be coming without no money, girl. Come on.
hey, okay.
Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we have 3 traditions to close out every single show. The first tradition we have happens to be our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Off to a pretty rough start to the week. Messi didn't score. Mbappe didn't score. The whole team didn't score. Schwarber didn't win the home run derby. I feel like I was set up to fail this week. This is just a tough week in general, man. Today I'm forced to bet on. Well, I'm going with the Phillies run line today at -1.5 against the Mets. They're riding the high from All-Star Weekend, still in Philadelphia. And it's the Mets. So, it's the only game on, and I'm not betting on the Mets. It's pretty straightforward. Bet against the Mets.
Yeah.
I just don't know what else I'm
spot.
supposed to do this week. This is brutal.
It is. I mean, I don't think the last 2 days were that bad of spots. Going Mbappe and Messi goal, you figured at least one of those would hit, both at plus value as well.
They didn't.
Messi and Argentina scored. Well, Argentina scored twice. You figure Messi scores one of them. Nope. So 0 for 3 to start the week. Nearly 16 units down, which unfortunately, Ben, is a new all-time low in 2026. It's the 3 days in a row L's is certainly hurting. 2.2 units down in July. So that's where we're at.
And I will be taking the Phillies Run line today, -1.5, because I have no other options. So there you have it. The Philadelphia Phillies. -1.5 against the Mets.
Yep, plus 152.
It's our lock of the day. What do you got? Taylor fade.
I'll give you some good mojo. Why not? I'll tail it. Aaron Nola's on the mound. The Tigers absolutely killed him last week. So maybe that means he's due to have like a decent start.
And it's the Mets, you know?
Who knows? Sure. I'll tail it. Why not?
There you go. That's our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. Our second tradition to close out every show is our game of the day.
Game of the day.
Well, you just mentioned there's nothing on.
There's one single. I mean, the Open's already done, though, isn't it?
There's still some guys going, but like, yeah, it's also 11 in the morning.
Is there any Summer League games still on?
I think there is.
Yeah, Mavericks, Thunder, but none of the good guys are playing anymore.
Probably not. Oh, my God. Is Yaxel Lendenberg playing for the Warriors tonight against the Knicks?
Is Caitlin Clark playing tonight? No.
I think she's actually out, yeah.
We got Paige Beckers is playing tonight.
Okay.
Sabrina Ionescu is playing tonight.
Okay.
Honestly, man, Prime Video, 13-1 New York Liberty, taking on the 16-8 Dallas Wings.
Oh, you got Paige versus Sabrina?
That's my game of the day right there.
Game of the day.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
No Michigan fans? They don't have anything?
They don't have anything to worry about today.
Okay. Last thing we have to do is predict what Colin Cowherd opens his show with. Yesterday, you got a point, right? So now I'm up by 1 now, or we're tied?
65 all. We're tied. He did lead with World Cup yesterday with with Mbappe and France losing to Spain. Episode 281 today means it's Ben's turn to go first. Can he retake the lead? 65 all. It's been Colin all week too. So shout out to Colin, man. He's still doing his show. What if he just did a bracket himself, but it was all sports, all athletes? That would be hard.
That would be nuts. That would be really
Imagine
difficult.
doing that. Just a top 64 people in sports.
Who would win?
We might have to do that. Probably LeBron still, right?
LeBron or Mahomes or Kelsey? Ohtani would be
LeBron
a finalist.
over all those guys.
Even Ohtani?
Yeah. Now maybe
Ohtani's got the worldwide
if
thing
Messi
going
wins
on.
the World Cup, though,
Again?
yeah, could be Messi. Give me LeBron over all those guys.
I agree. What's he going to lead with today, though, is the better question.
Correct.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
LeBron. I'm going to go LeBron. I'm just going to keep guessing LeBron until I'm right. And I will be right eventually. But I got nothing else. This is, again, the most boring sports day of the entire calendar year.
ESPN put out this article today. Maybe we do this on Around the League tomorrow. How many first-round picks each players on every team is worth? Like guys that are worth at least 1 first-round pick. Josh Allen worth 7 first-round picks, they say.
Okay. All right.
I do just want to see the Lions. Yeah, they only have just like 1 first-round pick. 2 first-round picks for Hutch or Sewell. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, anyways.
Would you give up would you get 3 first-round picks for Penei Sewell?
They're
still
saying
probably
you
say
wouldn't.
no.
Okay, 2 first-round picks and more is what it says for the category for Sewell and Hutchinson.
Yeah.
What is Mahomes? If Josh Allen is 7, is Mahomes also just 7 probably?
It's got to be. I mean, if the whole media push that Josh Allen's better than Mahomes
Media push.
It's just
it's also 7
okay,
first-round
good,
picks.
Good. I'm glad they're equivalent.
So
equivalent.
So what's a guy like Drake May? Because he's so younger, 6 first-round picks for Drake May. Is anyone worth more? No, there's no way.
There's not like an equivalent to it.
What's a guy like Stafford worth? This is kind of fun.
2.
Bro, they only got Stafford worth 1 first-round pick.
I mean, he's 37.
Not even 1 first-round pick and more. It's just 1 first-round pick. Dude, I'm giving up 2 first-round picks on a team that's trying to win the Super Bowl right now for Matt Stafford. I just am. And you can cancel me for that. I don't care.
We just threw out 7 different memes that we referenced in the past 90 seconds. That was amazing.
That was really good, Pop.
That was legit.
Really good meme. Oh, it doesn't end. That was great meme culture from us. Okay.
I turned it down.
What am I picking? You picked LeBron. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
just going to pick
yeah.
Messi, and Argentina won. They beat England.
And they used
If he
their
led
voodoo
with
devil
Spain
magic.
versus France, he's going to lead with this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he led with the ESPYs. You catch any of the ESPYs last night?
Hell no. Oh, my God, no.
Hell no, he says. Okay. Who was the best championship performance winner?
I don't know. The Knicks?
Jalen Brunson.
Oh, as a player?
Best
That was
college
kinda right.
athlete.
Cam Boozer?
Fernando Mendoza.
Okay. He was all right.
Best play.
Of the, just
Yeah,
in general,
best
best play.
OG Anunoby's block. Or Tippin, excuse me.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Jalen Brunson also won best male athlete. Yikes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Down year for the
A
ESPYs.
lot of Knicks. Yeah, ESPYs washed.
They've been washed. All right, we'll be back tomorrow for our Friday show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Kyle Sandel producing. Ben Bosscher here, as always, live on 100.9 The Mitt. Stay safe, everybody. Try to stay out of outside today. It's getting crazy out there.
The Ben Bosscher